to invite now both our teams, Longford and Rocherlea, and their umpires to come over to the western side of the ground for the official items before the grand final gets underway in about 7 minutes. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. To get our proceedings underway, as we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, fantastic initiative from the NTFA to have a club legend from each team to bring out the Premiership Cup, and it's a great pleasure to welcome, and I'd ask you to please make welcome on behalf of the Longford Football Club, Philip Williams, and from Rocherlea, Brian Bell. Thanks very much, gentlemen. And now time for the coin toss. And today that will be performed by Nick Dygan, MLC, member for Windermere, here representing Nick Street, the Minister for Sport and Recreation, who was unable to be here this afternoon. But I'd like to invite Nick Dygan to come forward, and also our two captains, please. If we could have Luke Richards and Josh Frankham to meet out in the middle. Longford have won the toss. They'll kick to the city end in the first quarter. So, ladies and gentlemen, as a mark of respect, we are going to have a moment's silence. It's being observed right around the country and in sporting venues right around Tasmania this weekend following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. So I'd like everyone please to take a moment as we pay our respects for a moment of silence, starting now. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Time now for the Welcome to Country, featuring prominent Aboriginal advocate and NTFA member Graham Gardner, and also with thanks to the Hawthorn Football Club. This will be followed by the Australian National Anthem, if you could please be upstanding.
Ligina Lutruwita. For thousands of years, Aborigines have remained connected to country. Our old people harvested the land, our warriors hunted a landscape shaped by traditional fire, and our women gathered resources to provide for their family group. Back then, we walked the many tracks across the northern Midlands that led us to the head of the Cunnamulla Tamar River. Today, those tracks are lined by buildings, and the landscape, once adorned by trees and grassy plains, are fewer. Warranta Lumi. We are here. Our culture is alive.
Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to both teams today's grand final.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium. This is the showpiece game of the NTFA, the Premier Division Men's Grand Final between Longford and Rocherlea. And what a game this will be. Controversy around who should wear the Tigers jumper. They're both Tigers. So winning out in the end was Rocherlea, with Longford to wear their yellow strip. And I guess as I'm joined by Rob Soward. Rob, you being a mad Tiger and all that sort of thing, the Tigers won a grand final in the AFL with this type of jumper on. Could it be an omen for Longford?
It could well be, and thanks very much, Michael. They certainly will be hoping so. 1989 has been the last time they've captured a senior flag, but always a little bit of you know, who wears what, who does what. And talk around Launceston this week has been the Tigers will come out winners, as you've said. The City Tigers or the Country Tigers. That's all in front of us.
Well, the players are just going through their last bit of preparation before the big match, before the first bounce of this game. 33 years, as you mentioned, that Longford have had to wait for a grand final win. Can they get it done? Results today in the under-18, South Launceston 9-7-61 over Bridgenorth 5-7-37. In the women's grand final, Launceston 4-5-29 capped off the wonderful season by beating Old Launcestonians 3-2-20, a 9-point victory to the Blues. And in the reserves, they've gone back-to-back, a 40-point victory to Longford. They have beaten South Launceston 9-11-65 to South Launceston 3-7-25. The opposing coaches, Bo Thorpe and Josh Ponting, Bo Thorpe for Longford, Josh Ponting for Rocherlea. Josh Ponting, of course, the ex-North Launceston player. Bo Thorpe playing for Launceston and South Launceston. And I guess his brother Mitch is the one that has gone on with their footy career and coaching career a little bit more. But this could be one time that Bo Thorpe can actually shine here in the coach's position, because Longford haven't won a grand final for 33 years. Rob Soward, your thoughts on how you see this game going?
Well, I think it's going to be a cracking game. In the second semi-final, it was all Longford. They really had the answers, and we mentioned in the previous game their defensive unit that day, Michael, played as a unit. And for Rocherlea, Josh Holton is a real key for them, their key forward. And again, if I was spinning the magnets as Josh Ponting today, I'd be giving some thought to throwing someone like a Jack Rushton, a small forward like him, in behind him, changing it up a bit. But Rocherlea came through a very tough game last week against last year's premiers Bracknell. They got it done. So, you know, it's hard to pick. The talk around the town split at the moment, 50-50 between both sides. But Longford would certainly have to start favourites after their second semi-final victory.
Rick Fontyn also to join us in commentary this afternoon, has just been on presentation duties and MC duties in the middle of the ground, so we'll give Rick an opportunity to catch his breath as he sprinted up the steps here to the commentary position. Duff TV bringing you this grand final in the NTFA Premier Division. You'll hear Rick's voice shortly. Here we go. The grand final in the Premier League. Larby in the ruck. He gets the tap down. Denellen. Away it goes, out wide to Davies. Bouncing ball, and being tackled is Sitzma. And it will be a ball up on the outer side. And Rick, have you caught your breath yet?
I have, Michael, thank you. It's terrific to be up here with yourself and Rob. After a great weekend last weekend, and the weather's cleared, and superb day, mate. Good to be with you. Looking forward to it.
He's fantastic. So Corey Anderson gets Rocherlea to the centre of the ground, but that ball has been marked by Kobe Moore. So Moore for the Tigers. They've got to call Tigers all day today. And now the mark by Headland. Dylan Headland had a player in a bit of space, but he did fall over. Now it comes to Josh Ponting. Ponting's kick is just astray. And Kobe Moore, with courage, takes the mark. He's opposite number 15, stands it. That's Zane Brown.
Tell you what, it's a good thing, Michael, that Longford have got an away strip, because they're both the Tigers, of course. Nice kick coming out wide there, and the mark taken by Gillow. Swings onto that left boot. Will kick it inside 50. Looking for Murphy Cohen. Good hands. I reckon he's a real danger, this boy, and he can kick this. Luke Murphy Cohen, 49 goals for the season. Number 9, deep, just inside the boundary line. Tell you what, you can't see it from up here, but there is a lot of support down here for Longford underneath us. Of course, they've just won the reserves. Here's Luke Murphy Cohen, kicking to the city end from just outside 50. Tell you what, I think he's done that deliberately. Oh, and the mark's dropped. And not a high tackle paid, and the ball very close to the boundary line in the end. Field umpire is going to come in and sort it out right next to the behind post. I think Rob Soward, that was a pass. He seemed to just change right at the last second. We'll come back to you as the ball up, deep in attack. Errant handball, and the snap on the left is just drifted off to the right. That was from Jackson Blair. So the first score of the game goes the way of the Country Tigers Longford. They're one behind.
Little chip. We'll get to Rob in a moment about that kick from Murphy Cowan. But that was very strange indeed. Rushton. Now away it goes to Bassett. Bassett on the outer side. So they're working it nicely here. There's Caden Cox-Goodyer, but it's been chopped off. So Rob, while we've got a minute, gee, that kick from Murphy Cowan, that was interesting to say the least.
He is a classic full forward, so I can tell you that was just a poor shot on goal. He's a former sharpshooter for Hutchins in the schoolboys down there. He caused me a lot of nightmares as an opposition coach, I can tell you, so he'll be disappointed with that one.
It's out on the outer wing, close to the line. Jack Rushton can't keep it in. It'll be a ball in. You
wouldn't argue with him. He's a police officer, so we'll be nice to him this afternoon. Luke Murphy Cohen, terrific fella too.
You've got to watch your P's and Q's around him. No question. Ball in. Larby just reached over the top of Provis. Hovering ball. Get a handle on it. Cox-Goodyer. Spinning around was Hawkins, the skipper. Might just flick over the back to Cox-Goodyer, but this is good defence by Longford, and Joel Lloyd is the man who just chips it short.
So Kobe Moore, he'll chip it further up the field and finds Jake Murphy. And they'll come down the grandstand side of the ground. Good hands in the centre from Gillow again. He's had a good start to the game. 24 goals for him this season. Been a good player for the Tigers. Good manning up here, looking for a loose man, finding Casey Curtis, the vice-captain. He'll go short as well and finds the skipper. Didn't quite go the required distance, Josh Frankham, so he'll kick it deep inside 50. Over the back, might have been a bit of a push out there, spotted by the umpire as well, and it'll be a free kick going the way of Rocherlea to one of the best players in the competition in Jordan Cousins. And happy to chip it around. His ball with Jacob Hawkins, vice-captain for Rocherlea, and kick it out towards centre wing position, and it's off hands Dakota Bannister there.
and out of bounds right in front of the Rocherlea interchange box. We've gone 4.5 minutes. It's Longford leading 1-0. Larby taps it down, looking for Gray. Frankham, whistle goes, and umpire Shepherd has picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of Longford on the true centre wing position.
What have you noticed so far? Longford just seem to be using the footy a bit better, Rob.
Yeah, they are, and I made the point before the game about how their backline sets up. It's a real unit approach, and it certainly stood them in good stead so far.
Josh Gray's got it on the wing. Gray's a little undecided, and just ends up spitting out a kick that didn't really do too much for his team. Fontyn got the handball away, but his teammates just nailed the tackle, and it'll be another ball up. And that was Luke Purton who got nailed in there. Here's a race for the footy, just kicked off the ground by Darren Lowe. They pile in. Well, it hasn't reached any real great heights at the moment, but they've got to settle down. It is a grand final. Larby knocks it down. Shark there by Cousins for Rocherlea. The umpires pull a free kick, and it might go to Dunellen. So Jack Dunellen pushes off, keeps it low. It's a great kick, and the mark's been taken by Lachlan Dakin. Dakin thought about setting it up for here, but he's handballed away. Long kick. That is a great kick. That is a goal from Jacob Wiggers. And Wiggers gets the first of the afternoon. The boy from Ulverston on the northwest coast. His dad was a great player for the Turners Beach Footy Club. And Jacob Wiggers gets the first goal for the Longford Tigers. And they lead 1-1-7. Rocherlea yet to score. Rob Soward.
Fantastic start there to the Tigers, and they've just been probably a little more settled than Rocherlea, but some key things there. We go through this side, and isn't there some terrific names there? Dakin, Murphy, Dunellen. Players that have a long, rich history with this club, so they'd certainly be happy with that. And as you mentioned there, Wiggers finishing off beautifully.
Terrific finish there, and we're back in the centre of the ground, and it's Michael Larby getting the tap down. They're going to come forward again through the coach, Bo Thorpe. Off hands, chance for the Rocherlea skipper now in Richards. Gets a handball onto his teammate there in Anderson. And one of the first ventures forward really in towards the 50. Didn't quite cross the line. Just inside the centre of the square. Rocherlea slightly into attack. Kick by Larby's had a good start to the game. Out wide, and comfortable mark in the end taken. Running with a fly to the ball by Richards. He'll go short to Cousins on that left foot, and didn't come off. Chopped off there by Frankham, and Longford are going to burst through the centre of UTAS Stadium. Here they come inside 50. Funny looking kick. Plenty of time, all the time in the world here for Taylor Stone, but fumble. There's Murphy Cohen. They're going to come forward again. Pressure's high now. Kick off the ground. Fontyn gets bowled over. Play on, says the umpire. Spilling free. And the intensity, Rob Soward, just has lifted in the last minute or so from that centre bounce.
It has, and you'll notice that the Longford Tigers are really sweating on Fontyn for Rocherlea. He's a class player, so they're watching him closely.
Thought he might have just tried to grab that footy a moment ago. Fontyn just sort of put his body on the line and just wanted to kick it off the ground, so he's got to be a little bit mindful of that. But goes Larby, who's been dominating. Cousins. He is a class act, Cousins. Feeds the handball away to his teammate and Bannister. Now Cousins gets it back. Long kick. Will it get over the back? No. Yes, it does in the end, but cleaned up by Lloyd. And Lloyd's kick out is okay. And it has been marked by Kobe Moore. Moore's been prominent so far. Wants a big switch to the outer side. That kick eventually does get there. And so away they go. Short kick down the line. It's going to be chopped off. No one can take it. Wiggers has got to work really hard here for Longford, but picked up there by Bailey Wells, and he gets a little kick away, but that's gone out of bounds on the full, and Jake Murphy is going to get the free kick for the Tigers, for Longford, I should say. When we say the Tigers today, we're going to be really careful with that.
Country and city, maybe?
Yeah, we have to be very mindful. Up goes big Larby, and Larby's taken the mark on the wing and outer side.
What a start of the game he's had, Larby. Plenty of it. Short finds Curtis, and here they come towards 50. Davies kicks it inside. Murphy Cohen's there, arms outstretched, right near the boundary line. Eventually trickles over and out. Jackson Blair unable to keep it in. Will get a boundary throw in. So almost 10 minutes played. Longford got the jump, led by about 7 goals at one stage early in the second semi before Rocherlea came home like a train. And they made a reasonable start here. Longford 1-1, Rocherlea yet to score. Here's Murphy Cohen, tackled immediately. Plenty of players around the ball. Chance here at first to the ball will be Schilling for Rocherlea. Does nicely, gets around 1, 2. Handball, finds his teammate there in Provis. And it's going to come back though. Poor kick, rush kick. And they'll build again. Longford. We come to you shortly, Rob, but haven't quite had the reward for their, I guess, possession of the ball they've had. And tackled. And Bo Thorpe's not going to get out of that. Eventually it does spill free. Here's the class of Fontyn, the Rocherlea coach, with a lovely set over the top. Almost the mark taken by Bannister. He comes away with it though. Has one bounce. Will he have a second? He will, but it doesn't bounce favourably for him. He's tackled. Got his boot to ball. Follows up again. Tackled. Outstanding tackle. And that's what you want to see rewarded, Rob Soward. Great work there from Jaden Harris. And he gets the free kick for Longford.
Terrific reward for effort there from Jaden Harris. I was just about to make mention, and Dakota is one of them. There's a lot of North Launceston players in this Rocherlea side, so they certainly have experience on this ground, but certainly experience at a higher level.
Well, it was worth about 2 kicks in the end from Bannister, wasn't it? He just kept tracking the footy. If he'd have slammed it on the boot, he could have saved himself all the trouble.
He's not a big fan of running either, Dakota, so he wouldn't mind me saying that, I'm sure.
No, he was quite prepared to do it there, because I think he had the 2 big sticks in mind there. I think Dakota Bannister, and gee, he was only millimetres away from getting through. Larby just reaches over the top. Goes back in after again. Quick kick off the ground. Murphy. Just a little short chipping ball. This might be okay. Fontyn just launched himself in front. That was terrific play by Fontyn. Got the handball away. Bassett couldn't get clean football. In they go. Just sitting over it now. Now taken away by Lachlan Dakin. Dakin just steady on the left. Got a call from Murphy. Cowan can't take the mark. And is happy to take it to the line. They're not getting reward, are they?
No, yep. The delivery to Murphy Cowan needs to be straightened up. I mean, he's a big, strong body. Put it out in front of him.
He is leading predominantly to the angle, to the pocket all the time. And he's not really overly quick on the lead, so the kick's got to be right out in front of him. Larby, another tap out. Geez, having a dominant first quarter. Here's Dinellon. Handball on the top, Davies. Davies with a real good kick. That is a ripper. And the mark has been taken by number 39, Oliver Chugg. The Chuggs, wow, what a name in football, Chugg, from all around the northern part and throughout the whole state, really. Davies, that kick's just important, isn't it?
It's just a beautiful kick, and you know, there was no result other than what happened there. The Rocherlea player was no chance of getting his hands on that.
So here he is, Oliver Chugg. Bit of a wind-up. Got under it. It's going to drift through for a behind. So it is an 8-point lead to Longford, with the Chugg kick just fading away.
So the skipper for Rocherlea, Richards, with the kicking in duties, goes short, and Headland does well. And Fontyn saying he wants it a little bit lower. He's getting plenty of attention on this occasion from Jack Dinellon. Exciting footballer as well. Boundary throwing just inside 50 for Longford, kicking to the city end in the opening quarter. They're doing all the scoring. Frankham is kicked to about 15 out. And great defence there from Richards for Rocherlea. And the ball goes out of bounds.
There's that crowd, Rick.
Terrific crowd.
They have packed in. They have packed in a lot of different bays on this side of the ground.
Richards tackled, got a handball out, says the umpire. Fontyn ducks the head, good umpiring, letting it go. Chance now for Purdon. With Longford, they've got the numbers here. If it'll come out, strong tackle, and umpire Shepherd will throw it up. Our field umpires today, Shepherd, Williams and Tregurtha. Officiating, boundary umpires Morton, Radford, Brewer and Cannon. And we've got Purdon and Fitzallen in goal. So congratulations to our officials. Richards getting plenty of it. Handball out. Gee, the forward pressure's been good. There's a holding decision paid though, and it's going to go the way of Rocherlea. And it's going to be Taylor Stone.
Stone with some fancy footwork, and then the kick was really just up and under. Wiggers from behind with a big thump to the line. And it'll be a boundary throw in as he jostles there with Zane Brown. Good crowd in for the NTFA Premier League Grand Final. Luttrell in the ruck against Dakota Bannister. Luttrell works his way in, just gets rid of Bannister with strength. Handball out, looking for Davies, below his knees, went to ground, ducked the head. Ponting's got him. I think he's gone. Umpire says holding the ball. Can almost predict it. Now to Cousins. Like the look of this bloke. He can play. Kicks close to the line. Up they fly. Ball killed to the line. It'll be a ball in.
Interesting to see how it goes tomorrow. The Premier Division Best and Fairest being live streamed tomorrow on the NTFA page. So check that one out from 1 o'clock. We'll see who's going to be crowned our Best and Fairest winners for 2022. So Rocherlea slightly into attack here in the opening term, which is 16 minutes old. There's Longford 1-2-8. And the City Tigers yet to score. Here's Frankham, the captain. Kicks it inside 50. Should be marked. Oh, it's dropped. Spilt there by Stone. And he's besieged. And we'll get a ball up about 45 out from the Longford goal.
They're breaking down a little going inside 50 Longford, not looking for the best option, and Rocherlea chopping it off most of the time.
Yep, dominating really. And 8-point lead only to show for it. And it's going to be another ball up. So we talked about the crowd. I know we've got 6 clubs playing grand finals here today, and a lot have already gone because their teams have been won and run and lost. But I am hearing that I know Bridgenorth had a huge contingent early here for the unders, and Old Launcestonians in the women's, but the crowd approaching 6,000 through the gate is what I've heard over the course of today. So outstanding crowd for the NTFA Grand Final. So good to be back here at UTAS Stadium. Ball thrown up. Reaching over the top there for Rocherlea with Bannister. He got the tap, but they're going to come again. They're doing well in the centre. Longford. Kick to half forward, sitting under it and doing very well. Nice mark taken by Taylor Stone. Oh, he's going to go across. Geez, that's dangerous. Yeah, it wasn't very smart. Poor kick. His teammate tells him about it. And, well, Murphy Cohen, I think he's given him a little bit of lip as well. Might have said thanks for the pass. Not sure what he was thinking here, Rob. He must shorten. I can only think that he didn't spot Murphy Cohen, but he was pretty close and could be costly. But it's important for Longford that Murphy Cohen finishes it off. Slide angle. He's only going to kick from about 30 out. Goal umpire moves slightly, hits the post. So are they going to rue this? They've had a lot of opportunities. They've dominated possession. There's Richards, the captain, to bring it back into play.
We've got to nail those. To the outer side, the skipper in Richards, looking for a teammate in Jack Rushton, and he can't keep it in.
You've both highlighted, you know, just how important it is to capitalise on your opportunities, but doubly so there when just a critical error from Rocherlea, just not capitalising on it, the Longford Tigers.
Boundary throw in. Luttrell, the only one to go for it. Could have taken it out of the ruck. Murphy was there. Ponting knocked it forward. Here they go through Cox-Goodger, Caden Cox-Goodger. Now Andrew Cox-Goodger gets the ball on his boot. It's a flying shot, but it's gone out of bounds on the full. And Kobe Moore will be the man, or has it bounced just inside the line? Let's have a look. This could be good for Rocherlea because if it's a ball in, they get a chance to set up here. What can they do? Deep inside, they're forward 50. Up it goes. Provis from the back. Luttrell at the front. Moore. He'll want the boundary and gets it.
You've noticed in the last few minutes, Rocherlea have got their, I call them their TSL experienced players up around the ball a bit more. Cox Goodger you've called, Jack Rushton, who started back, is now up around the ball. So they're trying to quell Longford's dominance in that area.
Boundary throw in. Luttrell got away from Provis. Bannister just knocked off the kick. Little half distance job from Headland. Got it away out of the danger area. Fontyn can't drag it in. It'll be a boundary throw in. 139 Longford. They've done all the scoring so far. They haven't really put enough scoreboard damage on Rocherlea in this first term with 20 minutes gone. Rick Fontyn for Duff TV. Rob Soward with you. Michael Maney. What a game we have in store here in the NTFA Premier League Grand Final.
Boundary throw in on the railway side. Bannister has had a good opening term. It's a handball out just in front of Rushton, but he's got time to get on to the boot, and Mark spilt, but they've got plenty of numbers here, Longford, in the defensive 50. They've stood up so well in this first quarter, and that's a great kick. Denellen marking the left footer, smothered. Great work there off the ball. That's Bannister again. Geez, he's worked hard in this first quarter for Rocherlea, and it's off hands and over the line there in front of Dylan Headland. What an afternoon he's had. He's coached the reserves to their premiership for Longford. He's gone straight in the roofs, came and accepted his premiership medallion, had a few words to say to the crowd, and then straight back out again for the seniors.
That's country, well, that's community football, isn't it, eh?
All right. Tapped down by Luttrell for the Tigers, the country Tigers from Longford. And that ball again close. Oof, jeez, was accidental umpire. No, has he called high tackle? No, he hasn't. He's let it go.
Led with his head, Rick, really, to be honest.
Yeah, good decision in the end by the umpire. So, into time on, 21.5 minutes we're approaching. 4 o'clock start for the grand final. And after a bit of rain early, it's cleared. And lovely afternoon for football, little wind. Here's Bannister again, handball out, finds Fontyn. Goes short, and that's better. And really the first time we've seen uncontested. Here's Cousins. He'll nearly kick this. He can kick a long ball. Jordan Cousins to full forward mark. Taken. That's strong hands there. So chance now for the Tigers. Josh Holton, leading goal kicker for the season with 65 goals. And I dare say this is probably his first possession. Rob hasn't been up there much.
No, and he's critical to their setup.
He
Absolutely.
is. So Josh Holton, as I said, the leading goal kicker by a fair bit from Luke Murphy-Cohen. I think 65 goals for the season. He'd dearly love to make it 66 right here. 45-degree angle, only 15 out. Kicks the first goal for Rocherlea. They're on the board. Courtesy of Josh Holton. And after all the work and the dominance of possession that Longford have had, Rob Soward, they only lead by 3 points.
Well, the Rocherlea coaching panel would be absolutely delighted, Rick, with that, because you've both called it the Longford midfield dominance, but on the scoreboard they're up by 3 points. Wasted opportunities, not direct with their feeding the ball inside 50, and Rocherlea go back up the other end. Cousins is going to be a real handful for Longford today. They've got to work out what they do with him.
Wonderful player.
Arthur Schilling important in that too, with a nice overhead mark, and then getting it to Cousins, who just put it to the right side for Holton to use his body and take that mark and kick the goal. Back in the centre, Luttrell over the top, now taken away by Rushton. So Rocherlea, a little late search from them. Schilling again, straight through the legs of Bannister. Now Moore. He's been working overtime today for Longford. His kick might just assist a teammate. Bouncing footy, handball back. That was nicely done by Wells. Ends up with Fontyn, and Ponting's little kick. Oh, Schilling couldn't quite get there, and it is a boundary throw in right in front of the interchange gates.
Fontyn and Cousins are just getting too much of the footy for Longford's viewpoint. They've got to do something to quell that dominance.
Back in again, Luttrell giving Larby a bit of a rest in the ruck. He might just need to grab this. He's got strength. He could palm off about 14 more. Both all couldn't get it. Away to Fontyn. Ponting's kick is not too bad, but Wiggers was there. He's called to play on. Drifts. Kick is okay into the middle. Nicely done to Davies, who got that from Frankham. The kick out wide. Leading in the race is Joel Donaldson. He's got to get around. He's caught. Umpire might say illegal disposal, but he did handball it from where I could see. But the umpire said No, that's okay. We'll ball it back in. Fine line, Rob Soward, isn't it?
Absolutely, but you and I were sharing the same whistle, Michael Maney, because he just got it away in time, I think.
Yep, I think that was a fair decision in the end. I think he might have got a slight fingernail to it. Here's Larby, takes it out of the ruck, a shallow throw in. Kick towards half forward. That's a strong mark there taken by Gillow. He's had a good opening quarter. He's got good hands, this man, for a small forward. He's started very well. He fancies his chances here.
They really need to kick this, Rob, don't they? Because they've had no reward for multiple inside 50s. And Rocherlea take it up, get a goal. That's a dagger in the heart, really. So this would be a handy kick if you can get the goal.
25 minutes we've gone, and he's going to come in now. What can he do? They need it. Left foot kick. It's going to be right up there. And a little pushing and shoving going on, and eventually it's fisted through. And it's another behind to Longford, who move on to 1-4-10. Rocherlea, and they'll take this. They trail by 4 points. They're a goal straight as we approach quarter time.
Richards goes out wide. Oh, Fontyn dropped what he should have. Rushton should, I should say, drop what he should have taken. And the ball heads to the line. If you're disappointed with that.
They really need to snag one here. I mean, if you were just watching this game and not watching the scoreboard, you'd probably think Longford were, 15, 18 points up, wouldn't you, with the dominance that they've had.
Yep, just not been able to take their chances. Larby down to Thorpe. Thorpe's kick goes 15 up, 15 down. Here they go, inside 50. Nice looking ball there was from Connor Pearden. And this ball close to the line, and nicely done.
A bit of how do you do?
Richards didn't like the attention there from Hamish Sitzma.
It's good to see. Absolutely nothing in it. So, right in front of the Longford supporters. Boundary throw in just outside there, forward 50. Is there enough time for another goal? There's only been a couple. Can't be too long to go in this quarter. There's working hard there was Rushton. Snapped forward there by Jackson Blair. Oh, going back there, almost Richards. They got the numbers here. Quick kick. And goal umpire calls it behind. So 1-5-11. The clock has stopped there on the scoreboard, but Duff TV, they're up with it. The clock's still ticking. We're just over 27 minutes in the first quarter. So 1-5-11 to 1 goal straight 6.
Here's Richards, who's been important back there with his use of the footy. So kicks out right in front of the broadcast position. Ball knocked back inside 50 for Longford. Ponting's there, hands and knees. Did it nicely, got it away to Caden Cox-Goodyer. Handball was to no one in particular. Loose ball just flicks up, just hacked. And the mark taken by Moore. Moore's probably been the Rock of Gibraltar back there for them. Really has taken his chances, and it's quarter time as his kick goes out wide. And quarter time in the NTFA Premier Division Men's Grand Final at UTAS Stadium. Pictures coming to you courtesy of Duff TV, Michael Maney, Rick Fontyn and Rob Soward here for the match as we see Dakota Bannister with the red rag around the neck. It is quarter time and Longford 1 goal 5-11 to Rocherlea 1 straight 6. Goal kicker for Longford, and that was at the 7-minute mark of that term. Jacob Wiggers, wonderful kick, and Josh Holton got his goal at the 22-minute mark for Rocherlea. But it is quarter time in the NTFA Premier Division Men's Grand Final. It is Longford 1-5-11, lead Rocherlea 1 straight 6. Rob Soward, well, a quarter of missed opportunity for Longford. But as you said, the clamp needs to come out to a couple of key players for Rocherlea, because Ponting and Cousins are rolling around like stray dogs without a tag.
Yeah, and I know that the trend, Michael, as we see at all levels of football in modern footy, is, you don't tag. But when you've got people like Josh Ponting and Jordan Cousins, like they're the sort of characters that could get 50 possessions each today, and not only just cheap possessions, they're possessions that create and set up opportunities further afield. Particularly Josh Ponting, a premiership player with North Launceston in the State League, just so smart. The other thing too that I think Longford have got to take into consideration is that matchup. Kurt Burling's playing on Luke Murphy-Cowan. Kurt Burling is a really, really good athlete, and he's a guy that will drop off and take some intercept marks if that opportunity presents. Murphy Cowan, a big, strong-bodied forward who likes marking on the lead, and at the moment, they've certainly, Longford, not made use of that. When they've presented the ball to him, it's certainly been to the advantage of Burling. So lots to think about, but again, we do see times, don't we, where missed opportunities come back to bite you later in the game.
Well, it is quarter time in the NTFA Premier Division Men's Grand Final, and it is a 5-point lead to Longford. They're 1-5-11. Rocherlea 1 straight 6 back with the second quarter shortly.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium, almost set for the second quarter. As we see just off the camera, you can't see, but a bit of smoke coming out over the back, bit of black smoke. Just a bit of burning off going there. There we go. Duff's onto it, isn't it? They don't miss a trick, do they?
Someone's burning some old tyres back there.
It's certainly got that look about it. And North Launceston Footy Club, there's about 100 of them here. They've booked out their function room as well, and they're dressed up for Silly Saturday, or whatever they call it nowadays, and having a fantastic time down here. Of course, Brad Cox-Goodger, coach of North Launceston, with a very keen eye on this game. Here we go. Longford taking a 5-point lead into the second term. Larby gets up, gets the first tap down. And here's Frankham. Oh, he couldn't quite. He had it spent before he got it. And turnover. So chance for Rocherlea with the first break. Anderson kicks it inside 50. Up high. Tap down numbers with Longford. Running there was Murphy. Couldn't pick it up. Tackled straight away was Harris for Longford. Here's a chance for Headland. Gets onto the left foot. And it's no good. Mark taken here by Anderson. Already a sense, just a better start here for Rocherlea, Rob Soward.
Yeah, certainly is. And we talked just before quarter time about Fontyn and Cousins. And it looks like Ponting's just out of disposal, so we've got to tighten up on him.
Good kick marked here though by Murphy with the ball, and it's out of bounds. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Plenty of fans down there with lots of advice for the players out on the ground. And here's Larby again and Provis. They do battle. Larby with front position. Gets it down. Shark nicely here for the Tigers by Davies. Ball there on centre wing position as the Plovers come down here. That's never a good sign. Keep away from them. Smothered well. Great work here off the ball. It's been pretty good too as Rushton for Rocherlea, and a heavy bump there. Headland just kicks it off the boot. Bang. And finds his teammate. And a mark taken here by Gillow.
Gillow goes to the pocket and almost ran out of real estate, but Burford Cohen just got those little twinkle toes going right to the end and took the mark. And the big fella is thinking about his next move.
They're going very wide again.
Yeah, they are going wide. He's just tailoring his leads wide. He runs around, gets a nice bit of bend on that. It's a good kick. He knew exactly what his capabilities were, Murphy Cohen. And he gets his first goal of the afternoon.
And his 50th for the season.
50 goals for the season. Well done to him. But the kick just had enough space. And Rob Soward, this is a man who knows exactly how to get it done.
Yeah, it's a fantastic goal. But I want to just highlight something in back play here. That started with the courage of Jack Donnellan. And you called, during the call, the heavy knock that he took. He's still sucking the air in the centre square. But it started with his pressure. Ball went forward, and Murphy Cowan made absolutely no mistake and kicks a great goal running around the corner.
So 11-point margin, almost 3 minutes played in the second term of the 2022 NTFA Premier Division Grand Final. Longford and Rocherlea doing battle. Larby, beautiful tap. Frankham, and they come away once again. They'll come forward. Oh, lovely turn there by Sitzma. Headland inside 50. Here he is again. Murphy Cohen through his fingers. Probably got a little bit under it. And I will say Jack Donnellan, as soon as he got that possession, he was hunched over. He's just inside 50, and he's really feeling it at the moment, Rob.
Yeah, it was a really, really heavy knock that he took, that's for sure. So Longford will be really counting on him, a player with State League Premiership experience last year with Launceston.
Harvey taps it over the back. Ball bounces free. Tackled straight away there was Rushton. No prior opportunity.
He's a really courageous guy, Donnellan, a really courageous guy, so he'll be critical to the Longford Tigers.
Harvey and Provis again in the ruck. Tap forward very cleverly there by Cousins. Well, that's a good tackle. Here's Cousins again. Handball. Under pressure, that's holding the ball. And paid by the umpire. And Frankham. Cousins going at it. Cousins told to get out of there by the umpire. Tell you what.
And his teammates, I reckon.
Yes. He's had a good opening quarter and a bit as this young man, the skipper, Josh Frankham. And, well, plenty of space there for the big fella there in Sitzma. They're going to come forward to full forward. Ball's up there. Good defence, tap down. Breaks free. And kick, but didn't look. Just a rush kick, and the mark is taken for Longford there by Harris.
So Harris still in the centre square at UTAS, bombs it high. Murphy Cowan just a little bit buffeted off on the run, and Fontyn, who's doing a lot of work in the defensive 30 back there, but the kick is just wonderful, and finds Brown. Zane Brown between wing and half back. Just a short little stabbing ball to Cousins. Cousins has got a man in a bit of space on the outer side. Even though it went over the head of Richards, he's able to get back and then do a nice little step around half a dozen players there. Then fed the handball away. Now here they go through Donaldson. Donaldson now kicks inside 50, albeit shallow. No mark by Cox Goodyear. Anderson on the follow-up. This ball could be crucial the way it bounces. And nicely done as Longford get out of trouble. And here's Headland. Headland's kick. Oh, he missed it in the centre of the ground. That was Dakin. Now taken by Cousins. Cousins with the right boot, left boot, doesn't matter to him. Gets a lot of purchase. And now Murphy has got to clear the area for the Tigers, for Longford.
So well drilled down there. You can see the 4 defenders. Rob will get your comment in a moment, but they're all lined up knowing exactly where to be. They're doing very well, holding up well at the moment. The Longford defence as ball comes off hands and out of bounds. Rob?
It's a real systems-based defence, and I think I touched on that before the game. And there's a brilliant example that you've called there, Rick. They know their job, they know their role as a unit, and they get it done.
So the margin, 11 points. Rocherlea just the one scoring shot. 6.5 minutes played second term. Waiting for the ball to come back. It's thrown in. Larby works his way to the front again. Taps it down. Bo Thorpe, the coach. It's a good tackle, and it's not going to come free. And we're going to get a ball up there. Rushton there for Rocherlea. And poor old Jack Dillon probably said, geez, I'd like to get out of here for a moment and not be tackled. Centre wing, railway side. Larby been outstanding. Dominant big man on the ground so far, early stages. Bouncing ball. Tap forward. Fontyn kicks over his shoulder. 2-on-1 favouring Longford, but it's going to spill free. Chance now for Anderson. Here's Cousins. Penetrating kick to about 35 out. That's a good strong mark from Andrew Cox Goodyear. Directly in front. He'll kick from about 30-35 metres out. And Rob, you touched on a little earlier about the big leaders. They've got guys that can step up, and this is one guy that can hurt you in a very short space of time. Yeah,
he's a really smart footballer. Again, state league experience, and you know, even as you get a little bit older, he just gets smarter, and that's just a really strong mark by Cox Goodyear.
Andrew Cox Goodyear directly in front. Kicks it over the goal umpire's head. Second goal to Rocherlea. And the margin back to 5 points there, 2 straight 12. Longford 2 goals 5-17. Andrew Cox Goodyear with his first of the afternoon.
You called, and it's been very obvious, the dominance of Longford in the ruck, but they're certainly not capitalising on that when the ball hits the ground. The Longford ruckman's just been absolutely outstanding, Sidesman. He's just been dominant, but when the ball hits the deck, Rocherlea are clearing it away.
Yeah, I can remember Andrew Cox Goodyear playing as a scrawny half-back for North Launceston, the State League. Very, very hard to get past as a half-back flanker, but he's filled out a little bit as the years have gone on. But boy, you don't lose your class, and he's certainly got plenty of that. So 5 points. Larby knocks it down. Thorpe. They haven't really been able to, as you quite correctly say, Rob, they haven't been able to make the most of that ruck dominance because they haven't had enough of their mids really get on the run. Get on the run so Larby can just knock it in their path. He's basically just knocking that ball just down to the feet of the contest. So therefore they're not getting away. So here's Cousins with another kick here for Rocherlea. He goes out wide. His target's Holton, but he's a long, long way from the big ones. Yeah,
Larby's dominance is just overwhelming at the moment. But as you've touched on, he's had the experienced Rocherlea players, the guys with the state league experience. They're in and around the ball, and they're getting first hands on.
Larby and Bannister. Larby just gets another one, but to a contest, didn't have much alternative there. You've got to be careful inside 50. And another ball up. So 5 points the margin. Goals to Murphy, Cohen and Cox Goodyear in this term. Larby flew. Bannister across the body. It's not going to bounce through for a goal. It might just trickle to the line for a boundary throw in. So 2-5-17 Longford. Rocherlea 2 straight 12.
Great to be with you here on Duff TV. Live coverage of the grand final. Michael Maney, Rob Soward and Rick Fontyn with you this afternoon. And there he is again, Larby.
Watch Zane Brown here.
Oh, and umpires really had no option there but to pay free kick for a high tackle.
Dunellen wants to watch himself there because he was pretty aggressive on the lip to the umpire.
And I think it is Andrew Cox-Goodging. Boy. Now, Dunellen pleading that he ducked, but you got to pay those. That's a definite free kick. So Andrew Cox-Goodger, an opportunity here for his second goal in about 3 minutes. And remarkably, to put Rocherlea in front. He swings around. It's got a good curve on it. Might be a little bit narrow. It is one behind only. So first blemish of the afternoon. 1 goal, 1 for Andrew Cox-Goodger. Longford move on to 2-5. Rocherlea 2-1. Here's Michael Maney.
I was just pointing out Zane Brown there. He is one of the most dangerous players in this league around goals. So haven't seen much of him so far.
Wigger's little toe-poking kick was almost trouble for them, but now he just gets it back. And then that kick, not his best, but it might work okay for Davies, who's got Richards in a good tackle, but that ball's going nowhere, and the umpire says, give it to me, we'll ball it up.
There is a plover that is not very happy about football being played here this afternoon. It's just made a beeline for our window, and you don't want to get too close.
Places you find yourself without some sort of a shooting arrangement. Here's Pontyn. Pontyn now away. High kick by Stone. They set themselves. Murfitt with plenty of pace breaks away. He needs to hit a target. Left foot kick. Murfitt Cowan goes to the pocket again. And the diving marks Donaldson. And that's a promising thrust forward for Longford, curbed. Donaldson gets a nice bit of elevation with the kick. Bannister's in the middle of that, and the ball is killed to the line. Boundary throw in. 2-5-17. Longford 2-1-13. Rocherlea.
Just reassuring the viewers too that no plovers have been harmed in the making of this production. Plover flying around safely, having a good time.
Indeed. All right, Larby, they tangle again, but he gets a tap down. Bowthorpe, the coach, couldn't quite gain possession of the ball. Oh, doing very nicely there. It was Gray, and it's going to be kicked forward by Larby and punched out of bounds. Richards and Gillow. A little bit of a push and shove, but that's all it is. You'd expect nothing less than a grand final, and the lights just starting to take effect, getting a little bit darker here in Launceston. Bowthorpe starting to get a bit busy as well, and that's good hands in front. And these two were just going at it a moment ago, Gillow and Richards. And tell you what, Gillow, he turned around pretty quickly when he took the mark. Said, that's what you get when you play in front. And confident young man. He needs to finish it off. Number 29, James Gillow. He's had a good season. He's kicked 24 for the season. 45-degree angle. The left footer kicks straight. So they answer the challenge from Rocherlea. Longford move on to 3-5-23 and out to a 10-point lead over Rocherlea. 2-1-13. First goal of the afternoon at James Gillow.
Yeah, look, really smart mark there by Gillow too. It almost looked like he was out of the play, as you called, Rick, but just turned around in time. Really smart young player. 20-odd goals, as you've said, during the season. But as we tick over to 14 minutes, the next 5 or so minutes is going to be really, really critical. Longford have been the dominant side, only a 10-point lead to show for it. So they'll want to score a couple of quick goals to go in with a bit of a head of steam at half-time.
Longford have proved themselves to, well, Rocherlea have proved themselves to be able to get back into the contest very quickly. Here they go through Frankham. Left foot kick. Gillow again, wants his left, hooked it back nicely. Murfitt Cowan tried the big smother, couldn't quite get the ball. A couple of them run past the footy. Umpire will ball it up. There's big Larby in there. I tell you what, once you get tackled by the big Larbs, you're in a bit of strife.
He's been watching the wrestling too by that dive, Michael Maney.
Loves a bit of body contact. Here's Larby, throws it on the boot. It floats through. It's a goal. The big man celebrates. Michael Larby. And man, he gives them a little bit of what for on the way through. The big blonde fella, he goes to the goal square. Job done. Another goal to Longford, and they move to 4-5-29. Rocherlea 2-1-13. We've gone 15 minutes. Second term in the grand final.
Well, that passage of play had everything in it. We had Larby just being really strong and dominant. The next minute he looked like someone had hit him with a table or a chair out of the WWE. Next minute he's bounced up, taken it out of there and kicked the goal. So he'll be talking about that one all week, I reckon.
He's a great character too. Lovely fella, Larby. And geez, he did well there. Can't really say he's having a rest in the forward line because he got very active there and kicked his first of the afternoon. But a handy little break here now for Longford. 4-5 plays 2-1. All balled up. Frankham, here he is again. He's been good. Tackled. Just got his handball out in time, and that's a high tackle. And spotted by the umpire. Free kick. Go Rocherlea's way. To be taken by Bailey Wells. Goes out wide. Looks for and finds Purdon. Luke Purdon. He goes short. Looking for 50. Nothing doing out there. Short pass again on the outer side. And it's marked by Richards, who's found himself further up the field. Had a good first quarter in defence for Rocherlea. Stemmed a lot of attacks. It's not a great kick. It was a 50-50 at best. And good mark there from Bo Thorpe. Goes out wide, and again that's a poor kick too. This time cut off by Fontyn, who gets on his bike, kicks it inside 50. 2-on-1 contest though. Again, poor delivery. Adam Etchell. So not the greatest passage of play, Rob Soward.
No, real errors. So you just wonder if they're not getting a little bit tired heading into half time on this big ground.
Long kick to the wing, and it is a boundary throw in. So Longford up by 16 points. Goals at the 2, 14 and 15 minute mark of the term, interspersed by a goal at the 8 minute mark by Rocherlea's Cox Goodyer Andrew. Luttrell won the foot race to get there, but then palmed it off away to Hawkins. Hawkins' high kick, all thumped away there, nicely done by Harris, and that could be a free kick against Holton, or is it a free kick to Holton? It is. And the big man from about 45, who's kicked many goals this year. How many, Rico, in the 60 department?
He's up to 66, Michael.
So they'll need one from him here because they're under a bit of stress here. Did the old frisbee flop there. So here he is. Josh Holton will kick from 45. Very deliberate. Will he get a wind up? Right leg taped. A little stutter. Josh Kennedy style. And he's hooked it. 15 points the margin. Holton 1 goal 1 for the afternoon. 4-5-29 to 2-2-14. Rob Soward, it's Rocherlea have just got to nail them, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Longford's dominance certainly has improved in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
They're coming in. Ponting from 60 goes short. And again cut off. Playing on straight away. Look out. You're going to be tackled. He is. Got a handball out though. Still inside 50. Here's Holt again. Handball out there to Bannister. Strong tackle there by Anderson. And we'll get a ball up. Good, tough contest. Umpire having a few words there, I think, for James Gillow as he makes his way forward. All tossed up. Here's Cousins. Bannister. Can't find a lot of space. Nice handball out. Here's Cousins. He's class. He's all class. Beautiful finish from Jordan Cousins. And you can't afford to give him too much space, Rob Soward, because he will make you pay, which he did then. Yeah,
he will. And, you know, if the siren had sounded before Cousins got that ball and you'd gone in and Longford had that, 15-point lead, you would have said, yep, fair enough. But all of a sudden it's back to 9 points and Cousins is just absolute class. Notice that broke the tackle, got the ball back from the second possession off the stoppage, and just all class there on that beautiful left foot he's got.
Good vision from Pearden too to actually get it to him. Cousins had a little quiet patch where Ponting had sort of kept up the pace, but Cousins had just dropped off a little but I guess we've got high expectations of him. But that was a wonderful running goal, and the goal umpire did not have to move. So 4-5-29 to 3-2-20, back to 9 points. Big Larby just went at it on his own. Cousins on his non-preferred. Murphy just slipped over, and that could be costly. His Schilling got disposed of after he'd got rid of the footy. And here's another opportunity for Rocherlea.
Interestingly, the officiating umpire didn't pay it. It was the umpire inside 50 who paid that downfield free kick. You don't see that very often.
And you just noticed that Josh Ponting ran about 50 metres there to go and let Danella know all about it too.
So here's Holton with an opportunity.
Yeah, I think
from
it was
about
there.
30. Missed the last one. Longford crowd wishing him all the best. Holton's got to drag it right to left, and he gets it. He's second. Boy, this game's starting to rev up now. It is back to a 3-point margin, and Holton's got a couple. Longford 4-5-29, Rocherlea 4-2-26, getting a bit of ill discipline there from Longford.
And as we've talked about throughout the game, there's certainly no doubt that Larby's the dominant big man on the ground, but now that Rocherlea have thrown Cousins into the centre square, and we saw it on the last stoppage, he's not having a direct opponent stand him. Longford are just sticking to their setup. You've got to do something about him. We saw it the other day, didn't we? Lockie Neal. You've just got to do something with a class player like him.
Back in the centre of the ground. Larby gets a tap again. Cousins, he's been busy. Here's Danella, though. Kicks it inside 50 to about 30 out from goal. Pushing and shoving. Great work in defence. Murphy Cohen wants touched. Nothing doing, says the umpire, and Burling will go out wide. And a nice mark outstretched there by Schilling. Schilling decides to go into the centre of the ground. Good kick. Oh, I think that bounce play on, said the umpire. So he looked as though he got on his knees there to take the mark, but the ball did bounce just before Provis took the mark. So ball up. 22.5 minutes. We're approaching second term. 3-point lead to Longford. Nice kick coming inside 50. Will look good anyway, but it was far too short there for Sitzma. Handball over the top. Here's Ponting. But, too close to the boundary line, and seen over there by Josh Gray as well. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Longford in attack. Whistle goes. Now, there's going to be a free kick. Umpire Shepherd has seen something off the ball here, and it's going to come back, it looks like, to Liam Davies. That's why you have 3 umpires.
It's against Purdon for something.
For something, yep. Couldn't see it off the ball, but umpire Shepherd saw something. And it could be costly, because the mark has been taken inside 50 by Casey Curtis, and the vice-captain with a chance from about 40 to make them pay.
This will be the steadier they need, Rick, because it's been all Rocherlea in the last 10. They've had a roll, so Curtis, this is a super important kick.
Moves in, slow approach, crosses the 50, a little skip and a dance, moves in, and it's way off the side of the boot, won't make the distance. And Cousins, how did he get so much space? Has an eternity to size up his options. Mark couldn't quite be taken, but recovering well there was Caden Cox-Goodger. Here's a chance, Andrew Cox-Goodger. They're on here, but it's a poor kick. And the mark is taken by Connor Alexander. Would have hoped for a better result there.
Just folded back beautifully and got it away to Kobe Moore, whose first quarter was terrific, to Nellen. Now that's got to be 50. That's really silly by Schilling. And should I say, that's a little bit out of date from Schilling. He's be doing that sort of stuff.
There's just no need for it. I mean, that's so
silly.
Obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. He's paid a lot of real estate, I can tell you.
I wouldn't mind buying that on a beach somewhere.
Might be 65. So Denellen punches low. All his forwards fell over. At the back, Cousins got it in the half volley and then fed it out wide in his right, but didn't quite hit his man in Rushton with the kick. But it was okay in the end. Found the luxury of the boundary line, and that's not too bad a result. The big Labmeister to go up with Provis. Larby gets to the front, knocks it down to Davies, productive. And then Davies is dumped by Anderson after he'd got rid of it, or as he got rid of it, illegally, said the umpire. So the rub of the green with the umpires at the moment is going with Longford, but they can't do anything productive with it. Now that's a spear and finds a teammate in the middle of the ground. Now it's picked up and chipped in by Pearton, and the mark has been taken by the big full forward in Murphy Cohen.
He's got to go back and kick this. With this stage of the game, with the time where it's at, he's really got to go back and seize the day.
Jaden Harris, the number 3 for Longford, involved in that exchange. And it's a nice sliding mark from Murphy Cohen. But as you say, Rob, correctly, this just has to go through if you're a Longford fan. Hasn't had his kicking boots on totally. From the angle, he's been pretty good, but here he goes, up and under. Goal umpire salutes and says, Luke, you've got your second. 2 1/4 to Murphy Cohen, and a little steadier for Longford, Rob.
Yeah, it is a little steadier, Michael, and you know, we're almost in the shadows of half-time, and for Longford to go in just with a 3-point lead, if I was coaching Rocherlea, I would have been just absolutely stoked with that, because you know, Rocherlea haven't played to their best. They've capitalised on Longford mistakes. So that's now put the ball back in Rocherlea's court, and you know, there may still be time for a clearance and another quick score.
So 4 goals apiece for both sides. Longford 4 goals straight after they kicked 1-5, and 3 goals quarter to Rocherlea. Ball back in the centre of the ground. Denellen gets boot to ball. Here's Cousins, got tripped, and he'll get a free kick. It's backward to the centre circle. One final chance perhaps to come forward. Mark taken. They're going to have to get on it. Here's Hawkins, kicks it, looking for Andrew Cox-Goodger. Ball spilling around there near the boundary line, about 20 out. And Lloyd happy to disguise it over the boundary line. And, well, another free kick given away. This time it's against Andrew Cox-Goodger. Oh, and that was interesting.
Trial by video in the NTFA, Rick.
Kobe Moore, just with a little.
Looks like he's about to do the leg sweep or something.
You'd almost call it a little slap of the lower leg, wouldn't you? So ball spills. Here's Hawkins. Crowd want ball. There's about 5 or 6 players around there. And in the end, the umpire's going to come in and ball it up.
Longford's dropped a couple back behind the ball, as you'd expect too. They certainly won't want to give one up at this stage of the game.
Bannister and Larby. Frankham. And it's nicely worked out in the end. Gray with the left foot kick. Going back there, Luke Richards did a great job. Now, the whistle's gone again. Something else off the ball. Not officiating umpires picked up something, and they are getting the run of the green here at the moment, and they're probably all there. It's another free kick going the way of Longford, and it's Hamish Sitzma.
Sitzma, who got that free kick. Here's Dave. He's got a kind bounce. Now he just measures the kick, just put it on the head of Murphy Cowan, and getting back was Donaldson, who took a nice mark. He's not much of him, Donaldson, but he defends extremely well. Gets up and under with the kick. Cousins in position A here, and just had first purchase on that. And Davey said, well, I think I took the mark, but I'm backing Cousins every day of the week for that man in front. Uses the ball so beautifully well to Stone. Stone between wing and half back. Rocherlea trail by 9 points in the grand final. Brought to you by Duff TV. Michael Maney, Rob Soward, Rick Fontyn, and the boys from Duff are here. And that ball floats out of bounds on the full. Wiggers with the kick, and just sliding back and taking the mark was the skipper, Luke Richards. But there it is. It's half-time at UTAS Stadium in the grand final of the Premier Division of the men's. And after 33 years, Longford looking for a grand final victory. They are in front at half-time, half done, as you would say. The scoreline, Longford 5-5-35, Rocherlea 4-2-26. Goal kickers for Longford. Murphy Cowan has 2, and then singles to Wiggers, Gillow and Larby. And for Rocherlea, Holton has 2, and then singles to Andrew Cox-Goodyear and Jordan Cousins. Rob Soward, it was a really good first half in the grand final. Rocherlea not out of this contest by any stretch of the imagination. They've got some work to do, and they just need to take it up in the second half to Longford.
They certainly do, and if I was picking which coach I'd want to be at half-time, I'd probably want to be Josh Ponting, because I don't think Rocherlea have played that well. So to go in 9 points down, I'd take that every day of the week. If I was Longford's coach, Bo Thorpe, I'd certainly be delighted with the effort and the dominance in some parts of the ground. We've talked about Michael Larby. He's just been fantastic, but they're not capitalising on that going forward, and they're not capitalising on his dominance around the middle. So plenty to fix up, Michael, for both teams.
All right, it's half-time here at UTAS Stadium. Longford leading the way by 9 points at the main break. And as we head into half-time, well, volunteers, football clubs would not survive without them. We're going to recognise just a few of them here this afternoon and thank our volunteers as we head into the half-time break.
Thought about setting it up for here, but he's handballed away. Long kick. That is a great kick. That is a goal from Jacob Wiggers. And Wiggers gets the first of the afternoon. The boy from Ulverston on the northwest coast. His dad was a great player for the Turners Beach Footy Club. And Jacob Wiggers gets the first goal for the Longford Tigers. And they lead 1-1-7. Rocherlea yet to score. Rob Soward.
Fantastic.
Rocherlea coach with a lovely set over the top. Almost the mark taken by Bannister. He comes away with it though. Has one bounce. Will he have a second? He will, but it doesn't bounce favourably for him. He's tackled. Got his boot to ball. Follows up again. Tackled. Outstanding tackle, and that's what you want to see rewarded, Rob Soward. Great work there from Jaden Harris. And
on the lead, so the kick's got to be right out in front of him. Larby, another tap out. Geez, having a dominant first quarter. Here's Dinellon, handball on the top, Davies. Davies with a real good kick. That is a ripper. And the mark has been taken by number 39, Oliver Chugg. The Chuggs, wow, what a name in football, Chugg, from all around the northern part and throughout the whole state, really. Davies, that kick's just important.
He got the tap, but they're going to come again. They're doing well in the centre. Longford, kick to half forward, sitting under it and doing very well. Nice mark taken by Taylor Stone. Oh, he's going to go across. Geez, that's dangerous. Yeah, it wasn't very smart. Poor kick. His teammate tells him about it, and well, Murphy Cowan, I think he's given him a little bit of lip as well. Might have said thanks for the pass. Not sure what he was thinking here, Rob. He must shorten. I can only think that he didn't spot Murphy Cowan, but he was pretty close and could be costly. But it's important for Longford that Murphy Cowan finishes it off. It's a lovely afternoon for football. Little wind. Here's Bannister again, handball out, finds Ponting, goes short, and that's better. And really the first time we've seen uncontested. Here's Cousins, he'll nearly kick this. He can kick a long ball. Jordan Cousins to full forward, mark taken. That's strong hands there. So chance now for the Tigers. Josh Holton, leading goal kicker for the season with 65 goals. And I dare say this is probably his first possession. Rob hasn't been up there much.
No, and he's critical to their setup.
He
Absolutely.
is. So Josh Holton, as I said, the leading goal kicker by a fair bit from Luke Murphy-Cohen. I think 65 goals for the season. He'd dearly love to make it 66 right here. 45-degree angle, only 15 out. Kicks the first goal for Rocherlea. They're on the board. Courtesy of Josh Holton. And after all the work and the dominance of possession that Longford have had, Rob Soward, they only lead by 3 points.
The Rocherlea coaching panel would be absolutely...
It's a strong mark there taken by Gillow. He's had a good opening quarter. He's got good hands, this man, for a small forward. He's started very well. He fancies his chances here.
They really need to kick this, Rob, don't they? Because they've had no reward for multiple inside 50s, and Rocherlea are going wide. He's just tailoring his leads wide. He runs around, gets a nice bit of bend on that. It's a good kick. He knew exactly what his capabilities were, Murphy-Cohen, and he gets his first goal of the afternoon.
2-on-1 favouring Longford, but it's going to spill free. Chance now for Anderson. Here's Cousins. Penetrating kick to about 35 out. That's a good strong mark from Andrew Cox-Goodger. Directly in front. He'll kick from about 30-35 metres out. And Rob, you touched on a little earlier about the big leaders. They've got guys that can step up, and this is one guy that can hurt you in a very short space of time. Yeah,
he's a really smart footballer. Again, state league experience, and you know, even as you get a little bit older, he just gets smarter, and that's just a really strong mark by Cox-Goodger.
Andrew Cox-Goodger directly in front. Kicks it over the goal umpire's head. Second goal to Rocherlea. And the margin back to 5 points. They're 2 straight 12. Longford 2 goals 5-17. Andrew Cox-Goodger with his first of the afternoon.
You called, and it's been very obvious, the dominance of Longford in the ruck, but they're certainly not capitalising on that when the ball hits the ground.
It is. You'd expect nothing less than a grand final, and the lights just starting to take effect, getting a little bit darker here in Launceston. Bo Thorpe starting to get a bit busy as well, and that's good hands in front. And these two were just going at it a moment ago, Gillow and Richards. And tell you what, Gillow, he turned around pretty quickly when he took the mark. Said, that's what you get when you play in front. And confident young man. He needs to finish it off. Number 29, James Gillow, he's had a good season. He's kicked 24 for the season. 45-degree angle. The left footer kicks straight. So they answer the challenge from Rocherlea. Longford move on to 3-5-23 and out to a 10-point lead over Rocherlea. 2-1-13. First goal of the afternoon of James Gillow.
Yeah, look, really smart mark there by Gillow too. It almost looked like he was out of the play, as you called, Rick, but just turned around in time. Really smart young player. 20-odd goals, as you've said, during the season. But as we tick over
Stop. Here's Cousins. Bannister. Can't find a lot of space. Nice handball out. Here's Cousins. He's class. He's all class. Beautiful finish from Jordan Cousins. And you can't afford to give him too much space, Rob Soward, because he will make you pay, which he did then.
Yeah, he will. And, you know, if the siren had sounded before Cousins got that ball and you'd gone in and Longford were had that, 15-point lead, you would have said, yep, fair enough. But all of a sudden it's back to 9 points and Cousins is just absolute class. Notice that break the tackle, got the ball back from the second possession off the stoppage, and just all class there on the beautiful left foot he's got.
Good vision from Pearden too to actually get it to him. Cousins had a little quiet patch where Fontyn had sort of kept up the pace, but Cousins had just dropped off a little. But I guess we've got high expectations of him, but they can't do anything productive with it. Now that's a spear and finds a teammate in the middle of the ground. Now it's picked up and chipped in by Pearden. And the mark has been taken by the big full forward in Murphy Cohen.
He's got to go back and kick this. With this stage of the game, with the time where it's at, he's really got to go back and seize the day.
Jaden Harris, the number 3 for Longford, involved in that exchange. And it's a nice sliding mark from Murphy Cohen. But as you say, Rob, correctly, this just has to go through if you're a Longford fan. Hasn't had his kicking boots on totally. From the angle, he's been pretty good, but here he goes, up and under. Goal umpire salutes and says, Luke, you've got your second. 2 1/4 to Murphy Cohen, and a little steadier for Longford, Rob.
Yeah, it is a little steadier, Michael, and you know, we're almost in the shadows of half time, and for Longford to go in just with a 3-point.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium. Players are almost in their positions for the second half. Longford lead the contest by 9 points, and you would have to say that Rocherlea are right in this game. A couple of things need to go right for them, and they could well be the premiers. Longford have lost 6 grand finals over the journey in their 33-year wait. Here we go. Second half underway. Larby in the ruck, gets the tap down to Davies. Davies has been terrific, but he's dropped the footy. So the intensity there from this man, Cousins, who's almost BOG. Cousins goes long, goes wide, though, to the pocket. Holton just escorts it to the line.
And Davies, you can see he's had that lockdown role on Cousins, but Cousins winning that one at the moment.
Yep, they both had plenty of the ball, and Bannister did nicely, got it to Fontyn. Ponting's wobbly old ball will be marked by Murphy. Murphy just getting back in defence. He's been okay for them, the man with the yellow headgear. Goes in short to Wiggers, who kicked the first goal of the game. Gets the kick, just touched off the boot. Larby pushes off Provis. Got it away. Here's Cousins. A little left footer. The vision was good. The execution absolutely outstanding to Rushton. Rushton has got a man in the pocket, and he goes to him, and he takes the mark, and it's Anderson. Anderson's a left footer, so this could be a bit tricky, Rob, for him from this pocket.
Yeah, he's on the wrong side, but danger signs for Longford. When you hear names like Fontyn to Cousins to Rushton, they're the guys you don't want anywhere near the ball if you're Longford.
Here's Anderson to strike a blow for Rocherlea. Gets a bit of a wind up on it, but I think he's shredded that very close. Just drifting at the last moment, but they creep a little closer. 8 points the margin now.
So from the kick in, first score of the third term. Approaching 2 minutes. Kick in, dangerous. Strong hands though, good hands there from Gillow. He's got a goal to his name this afternoon. Goes out wide and having to stretch for it, but doing well, and taking the mark is Moore. Handball there from Murphy back to Moore, and the mark taken on the true centre wing position by Wiggers. And Wiggers, that kick not too great, and cut off. Nice mark there by Taylor Stone. So Stone on the right boot he goes. 3 Longford players there, and in the middle of him with a tremendous mark is Bannister. Swings onto the right boot. Kicks it deep inside 50. Holton in good position. Over the back, he might have a chance here. Well tidied up there by Headland. They're under pressure, but they do well. They've stood up all afternoon. Now, there's been Andrew Cox-Goodger, I think, might have just knocked down. He's going to come back. Yeah. Interestingly, that happened well after the ball had gone downfield, and it's come back.
There's nothing in it, really.
No, and I've got to say, there's been a few of those in the latter stages of that second quarter as well, where off-the-ball incidents that you just got to not get caught up in the moment. Seemed to be not much in that one at all, Michael Maney, I agree. So here's the chance now for Longford. Now the whistle's gone again. It's called a throw. And it's against Frankham. So free kick to Jack Rushton. We'll just have a quick little look here. Was it a throw? Yep, good decision.
Good decision. Yep, you got to pay that. Anderson out wide to Burling. Burling for Rocherlea. This way, that way. Confused everyone, including himself. Kicks to a pack situation. Goes over the back, Hawkins. Caught high. Maybe that whistle went really early, and I reckon that's a free kick. And it is. It's going to Jacob Hawkins. Well, they've kicked it behind so far, and this will get them within 2 points if he can kick this. There's the left arm draped across. So Hawkins from pretty much the paint of 50. Let's see if he's got the journey in him. Bit of a wind-up, suggesting that he might not have it. High kick, and it's killed to the line and a behind. So it's now 7 points the difference in the grand final. and we've gone 4.5 minutes in the third term.
Getting dark here at UTAS Stadium, as in overcast, but the light's also taking effect of this 5:30. 4 o'clock kickoff, of course, and bullet-like pass, and might be high. Goes down the field. Here they come, Murphy Cohen. A little bit of pushing, shoving. Big chance for the big guy. He'll swing on to the right and kicks a goal. His third. Well, look, Murphy Cohen. They go from one end to the other in a hurry, and Longford with the all-important first goal of the third term. And they stretch the margin, Rob Soward, out to 13. 6-5 plays 4-4.
It should almost be worth 12 points, that goal, Rick. I mean, it was all Rocherlea. It's been all Rocherlea for the first 5 minutes of this term, and a fortuitous bounce there for Murphy Cohen, and he gathers really cleanly and strikes the ball beautifully. But there's worrying signs for the Longford Tigers. They've really got to fix up those deficiencies, as we've talked about through the day, around the clearance area. Dominant ruckman, not taking it away, and Rocherlea is starting to look really dangerous when it goes forward.
Burling with the job on Murphy Cohen. There's that big dominant ruckman back to Davies. So Larby doing it nicely in the centre. Quick little handball out, squirts beautifully. Now it's back to with this man in Gillow. Now Gillow goes to half forward. Good kick, good mark. They're having a purple patch here, Longford. And it will be number 39, Oliver Chugg, to take a shot from goal. That's quick hands. That's beautifully done by Jackson Blair. And then Gillow with a nice turn of pace, and the execution kick was wonderful. Donaldson on the mark. Chugg kicked just one behind so far in the first term. A little wind up, left footer. Is it going to come around? It's got the journey. He's happy. And all of a sudden, it's out to a game-high 19-point margin to Longford. Chugg gets his first. And Longford have started the second term. After the first minute or two, Rob, was all Rocherlea. They couldn't score. And then Longford all of a sudden have taken it up twice and kicked 2 goals.
Well, that's a dagger in the heart for the City Tigers. I mean, they've just come out, look full of purpose and full of running. Longford a bit all over the shop, and then bang, 2 goals in 2 minutes. And as you said, Michael, game-high lead now to Longford. So next move, Rocherlea. We'll see what they come up with at this centre clearance.
The Brains Trust, Andrew Cox-Goodger, Cousins and Ponting all got together after that goal, and they're all in the centre. So they're going to try and take some of this control that Longford have got, as Larby got such a good leap on him. Here is Ponting. Kicks it inside 50 for Rocherlea. Brown gets up way too early. Hardly sighted. Very important player for them. Kicks forward, and here he is. Right on cue, Rob Soward.
Well, as soon as you mention him, I reckon what will happen, Rick, is Rocherlea will get you to mention him every 2 minutes, and up he'll pop. And
but in all honesty, he has hardly been sighted today, and he is an explosive player. I think you caught it a little bit earlier. He's kicked 27 goals for the season. He's a very damaging player, and if he can get into this game, well, they're right in it still. But
Absolutely.
He must kick this. Zane Brown will kick from about 30. He's normally a good kick, and that one's no exception. The goal umpire doesn't move, and Rocherlea responds straight away and reduced the margin to 13 points. But Rob, also interesting that the leaders of Rocherlea there, Ponting, Cousins, Andrew Cox-Goodger, took it upon themselves to all be in the middle.
Yeah, and I was watching that centre play, Rick, as he's done all game. Larby wins the tap down. They provided a block there on Frankham, who's standing Ponting. Ponting walshes through and sets that goal up. So again, those centre square setups are critical. Longford, if they're going to win their first grand final in 33 years, they've got to sort that middle of the ground stuff out.
Their first goal since the 21-minute mark of the second term. Larby is just knocked up, getting his hands on the footy. He's got Bannister to contend with. Larby just reaches over the top. Bannister got the ground ball, kicks it toward 50, but Wiggers was there to take the mark for Longford. Kicks out wide, and Gillow, geez, got good hands. Rick Fontyn mentioned that earlier in the call. He's got sticky fingers, this young bloke.
Took it at the high point too. Notice, just really great play.
Goes in short to Curtis, and Curtis in front of Wells. Wells has got to push back a step or two. Curtis now Inside 50. Up they fly. No one can take it. Cousins doing some work at the back. Has a real end for ender. And it rolls out of play.
It's getting willing.
Yeah, Adam Mitchell just make a bit of body contact. That's all right.
Of course, that's what you want. So boundary throw in about 65 around from the Longford goal. Larby and Bannister to go at it. Larby's been outstanding, distinct height advantage, and well, that boundary throw-in's gone a little bit off. Certainly favoured Larby there, but here's Fontyn. Gets a nice little handball out there to his teammate in Schilling, who's taken. Diving forward was Murphy. And he gets a free kick. Well, not sure about that. And he's going to play it, and here's this silly rule where you can't move.
Ridiculous.
And it was obvious that he was playing on. Frankham kicks it out wide. Nice kick. And the mark is taken here for the Tigers by Pearton. Kicks to the forward pocket, but it's too wide there for Murphy Cohen and out of bounds.
Yeah, into that pocket again. I've just noticed here in back play, Donnellan standing Cousins. Now that's going to be, that's the sort of matchup that I want to see, because Donnellan will run with him all game and won't give him an inch.
So boundary throw in right forward pocket. Longford's into the ground. Larby taps it over the back. Here is Frankham, gets it out. Battling there. Chance, good bump. Going in hard, all players. Great contest. Desperate stuff from both Rocherlea and Longford. It's in a dangerous position. 20 metres out. You could see sections of the crowd. Big crowd here at UTAS Stadium this afternoon. Bannister takes it out of the ruck. Oh, he's in trouble. He gets his handball out though. Well,
got a high one on.
He must have done. Yep, spotted off the ball, so it's going to come back to Bannister.
Lucky.
Penetrating kick out to the railway side of the ground. Great fist there from Moore. Been good for Longford. And high tackle picked out by umpire there. Good kick into the middle. Here's a chance now for Rushton to kick it inside 50. And leading the race there, Holton caught behind. And the mark is taken by Alexander.
Off to Wiggers. Wiggers out in front of Murphy. Murphy gets a kind bounce. He's about to get mowed down. Got a real chaos ball inside 50. Might just work okay for Dakin. Dakin from 30 metres. Straightens up. Kicks the goal. That ball went from one end to the other very quickly. Set up by Wiggers at half-back. Murphy ran onto it. And it's back out to a 19-point margin. And Dakin gets his first.
And it's on here on the centre wing.
Yeah, Rushton.
Both thought didn't like it. Umpire Shepherd's there too. And he's paid a free kick. He's signalled as a report.
Yeah, so we need to go off and have a cooling off period. Does Moore, does he? Or is that the send-off
or
rule?
Rushton?
Moore's gone off.
Card comes out here. Umpire Shepherd points it out to the interchange steward. And we'll go and cool his heels.
So how long is he off for, Rick?
I think it might be 15 minutes.
I think so.
So it got a bit willing. And umpire Shepherd's gone in and sorted it out. But 19-point margin here. Longford out to that handy little break again midway through the third term.
Back in the centre. Larby reaches over the top. Thorpe was there. Likes a bit of body contact, does Bow. And another ball up. Well, that's dangerous stuff if one of your players sent off for something silly like that in the grand final, but it can happen. Here's Cousins, so clean with the footy. Handball over the top, running onto it Anderson, didn't take possession, then fell over and then was given a free kick. Now he's got Cousins. Left footer, Cousins goes to the hot spot. Over the back, Etchell couldn't quite get there. He might get another chance. Etchell, left footer, goal. No, hit the post. Well, that's the difference. Rocherlea kick it to the hot spot and Longford kick it out wide. But you can't knock it. 18 points now, the margin in favour of the Country Tigers.
So 8-5 plays 5-5. And the kick in. The mark is taken by Harris for Longford. Told to hurry it up. Eventually kicks it out. Good purchase on the ball there to centre wing. Kick forward now by Purdon. And the mark taken for Rocherlea at half forward by Provis. Nice looking kick. Great spoil over the back. And that was by Jacob Wiggers. Had a good game so far this afternoon.
And it's critical. I've just noticed, guys, in the last couple of minutes, Dunellen, who was standing Cousins, is now off, having a spell. Cousins, you notice 3 possessions in that last chain of play there. So they've got to get that match up. He can't let him run around by himself.
25 out. Larby gets it down. They've held up really well. It's one of those up and under kicks that may not work out. It doesn't. And we're going to get a shot on goal here. And it's that man you don't want it to be with if you're a Longford supporter, and that's Jordan Cousins. So
just a reckless kick by Wiggers.
It was a Hail Mary rush kick, wasn't it? And Cousins, he's got one this afternoon and it didn't look. And probably had a little bit more time than he thought, and that's where you need your teammates to tell you. But Cousins, he has missed it from straight in front. So costly miss for Rocherlea. Margin now 17 points in favour of Longford.
1 goal, 1 to Cousins. 16 points the margin now. Mark taken by Gray. So Gray at half back. Thought about going through the corridor, and then Dakin just manoeuvred beautifully. Gets it away to Pearton. Frankham in hard, the 2 skippers.
I've often wondered with that length of handball, Michael, why you wouldn't bother kicking it longer, because he's handballed it into a contest, and you know, instead of being away, now they're held up.
When you're under pressure, Rob, I guess.
Easy for me up here, isn't it?
Yeah. We got all the answers up here, Rob. Here's Cousins, who's had all the answers all day. Pearton, left foot. And now a free kick just on the back play. It'll go to this man Cousins, who's, well, I reckon he's best of field, this bloke, so far, to Hawkins. Hawkins now, shallow inside 50, 2v1. Holton against Wiggers. Caden Cox-Goodger with a little kick along the boundary. It'll be a ball in. We've gone 17.5 minutes in the third term of this NTFA Premier Division Men's Grand Final. Longford, 33 years since their last flag. Under the lights here at the moment. Caden Cox-Goodger, a little kick across the face. Foot races on, Schilling and Pearton. Pearton overruns the footy, but Schilling gets him as Pearton just ducks back in. Cox-Goodger wants to go in and put a bit of body on and have a bit to say. It'll be a boundary throw in.
I'm just looking here at the stoppage. Oh no, Frankham's going over towards him now. Cousins had 20 metres between him and anyone else.
Certainly hasn't had anyone tagging him today. And as the sun pokes out, Bannister, good body work to full forward. Almost taking the mark, and it's going to go over the line. And we're going to get a throw in. So 18.5 minutes played in the third quarter, and it's Longford looking for their first senior premiership since 1989 up against Rocherlea, who last tasted premiership success in 2016. On the throw in to shallow one. Touched, play on. Here's a chance now, and a goal, and it's kicked by Cox-Goodger. That's Caden. And they're right back in this contest. Rocherlea, the margin down to 11. 8-5 plays 6-6.
Yeah, look, and Rick and you and Michael called it a moment ago. That was almost a replay of the last time the ball was at this part of the ground. The Longford defender, just a quick kick on the quick throw on the boot, and it's 20 metres out straight in front. So, you know, we've talked how good their defensive unit has been. You've got to be better than that in that situation, and just a real easy goal as it turned out to Cox-Goodger.
Dunellen back on the ground. for Longford. Going into defence.
A little bit of cool down period there for Kobe Moore, as you saw him on the bench a moment ago. I don't think he's lost a tap, Larby. In goes Frankham over the top of Fontyn. He might win a free kick here, Frankham. He does. He's trying to inspire his teammates. They lead by 11. Frankham from the centre of UTAS Stadium. Kicks long. Who can take a mark? They all fold back. Stone. He's got to get away to Bassett. Bassett's little dinky kick is okay and finds his teammate there in Scott Ritsima. His kick. Looking for Etchells. Well done by Denellen. The tap was a little bit fierce for Murfitt. Oh, going in with the boots was Fontyn. No free kick. Here's Murfitt. He's got some pace. Just turns it around the body. That's a good kick. And it's been marked by Hamish Sitzma. So Sitzma just pushes back on. Goes for the big fella in Cowan. Murfitt Cowan couldn't take the mark. Oh, no free kick. He did drop it like a hot scone, Darren Lowe. I think he did. And the umpire was right there with the free kick.
Boy, haven't the decibels gone up in the crowd?
It's fantastic, isn't it? Community footy.
Around 6,000 of them here at UTAS Stadium.
So, our man, number 29, James Gillow, has a shot on goal from about 40 metres. It'll favour his left boot. Gets some elevation. It's going to work back. Not far enough. It's a behind. 12 points the margin. Gillow just missing away to the right. As Rocherlea, through their skipper and Luke Richards, does nicely and finds Burling.
Kurt Burling. He goes short as well, and it's going to be chopped off. Good work there by Denellen. And we'll get a boundary throw in.
It was great play there, Rick, by Denellen, but I've often wondered if you can get both hands to the footy to punch it, probably should grab it.
And even 2 goals the margin. Boundary throw in right in front of the Longford fans, and there are heaps of them in the Western stand on the lower tier. Good throw in by the boundary umpire. Tackled immediately there was Hawkins, and it's not coming out, and we're going to get a ball up.
Like a big front row up, Bo, wasn't he? Hey, just trying to bullock his way through.
It's real Steve Roach sort of stuff.
Hope you're enjoying the coverage of Duff TV. I just had a look at the numbers. So many people watching. Great to have your company. Hope you're enjoying a great grand final. It's willing. It's exactly what you want. And the game is on the line here now. Latter stages of the third quarter. The margin, just a couple of straight kicks. Longford's defence, they've held up well so far today. They'll come short. It's going to finish short, but a good pick up there. That was Curtis, Casey Curtis. Umpire's whistle goes again. High tackle, free kick downfield to Longford. Out wide, nice kick, and it finds Wiggers, been good for them. He'll kick it deep inside 50. Murfitt Cohen, a little bit of a push. Bounces over the top. He might kick another one here. He's done it from here before, and he's done it again. 4 goals to Luke Murfitt Cohen, and stretches the lead out to 18 points again. 9-6, plays 6 goals, 6, Rob Soward.
He looks like he's gas Murfitt Cohen there. He's certainly just a really terrific contest, but I must admit, when I saw the ball coming in, I thought they'd made a mistake with how they just banged it in there, and it certainly looked a bit hands on the numbers from Murfitt Cohen, but he got away with that, and a terrific finish, and you can see the celebration. He knows how important that goal was.
Running on fumes, that man, at the moment. And he's about to blow up. I tell you what, that was a pretty special goal. Should have been paid a free kick against him, but that's history. The big man in the ruck now for them is Luttrell. Umpire will ball it up. Number 16 there for...
He's been good
Longford
today, Michael, hasn't he? He's been really providing a good contest.
He has. Hawkins gets it away to this man in Cousins. Cousins with a long floater, and Cox Goodyear almost took the mark. Inches away from it. Long ball. Back into the centre. Fontyn. Little handball away. Schilling. Back to Fontyn. Now to the skipper and Richards. His kick almost marked. Nothing doing. In goes Gillow. Step this way, that way. Lost the footy. Back to Richards. Umpire threw the whistle away. Now to Anderson. Anderson about to get hunted down by Headland. Got the kick away. And Caden Cox-Goodyer kept it in. Kept it alive. Over the top. As Andrew Cox-Goodyer says, what about me for a free?
The desperation's really been ramped up in the last couple of minutes with not long to go this quarter. The next couple of minutes is critical.
All right, here we go. Ball up. Rocherlea would dearly love a goal here on the stroke of three-quarter time. And they might get a chance. Kick to about 25 out. Snap, good smother. Desperate stuff. Now the whistle goes. It's been paid for kicking in danger Longford's way, and they're quick to go. Can they get him on the counter? That's a great mark. Terrific mark there taken by Rietsma. Inside 50. Just under the ball a little bit there was Brown. And plenty of territory out here to build. Here's the skipper, Ian Frankham. He's had a good game. Good tackle. He's dropped it.
Yep.
Oh, he's legged. Oh.
That might be 50 as well.
Well, it shouldn't be because... Well, anyway, I won't say anything.
No, Rick, you're president of the Umpires Association.
That's holding the ball.
Yep. No
Every
question.
day of the week.
Inside 50, Murphy Cohen couldn't take the mark. Yeah, that was pretty obvious. Got to agree with you, Rick. Sometimes this game's just not fair. Here's an opportunity. Head down over the footy. And the umpire just said, you put your head down and led with your head, and nothing going there, young chug. Oliver. And another ball up. Gee, tension's really high at the moment. Rocherlea bench. Who can work some sort of miracle from here for Longford? Luttrell knocks it down. Hawkins, kick smothered. Thorpe goes back in. Bullocks his way through. Ball not released. And another ball up.
You get the feeling if Longford can score from here, that's the game.
Early call by our expert Rob Soward. Luttrell back. Pearton. Handball's loose. Bannister. Oh, caught with the footy. And the umpire said you dropped it, Dakota.
Great tackle.
And Thorpe, who's really been doing a lot of grunt work in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so, is rewarded. And has he got the gas from here?
It'll test him.
If he does, I'll be staying away from the northern suburbs for the rest of the month, I reckon.
Great reward for tackle there.
Here we go. Bo Thorpe. The lactic acid build-up would be there. He's got a good piece of it. It's gone close to the line. It won't be a goal. It'll be touched on the line. 19 points, the equal top margin in this game. And the kick out is no good. And Josh Gray has taken the mark, and he'll have a shot for goal.
So, Josh Gray, well, this is a huge kick. Similar distance to what we saw Bo Thorpe a minute or so ago. This for a 25-point lead on the stroke of the siren. Gray crosses 50, swings around, kicks it deep. It's not going to have the legs. It's off target. Can it be marked? Oh, chance, goal! Off hands. The Longford reserve players are celebrating a premiership and celebrating that goal as well. And it's been kicked there by Jackson Blair. Brilliant roving. And in the context of the game, Rob Soward, that is a massive goal.
Yeah, I don't usually sell the farm this early, but you just get the feeling in the premiership quarter, Longford have come out after Rocherlea dominated the first 5 minutes. Longford have come out and kicked 5 goals. Rocherlea have kicked 2. So it's all uphill for Rocherlea from here, but they've got the cattle to do it. You know, I'm certainly not handing the cup out just yet, but great reward for the Longford dominance there to Jackson Blair.
Something out of nothing in grand finals is gold, and Jackson Blair made something out of nothing there. It's now up to a game high 25 points. Rocherlea with A lot of work to do. Here's the big man, Luttrell. And three-quarter time in the grand final. And it is Longford leading by 25 points, 10 goals, 7, 67 to Rocherlea 6-6-42, the highest margin so far in this game. Twice it's been 19 points. That was at the 19-minute mark of this term and again at the 28-minute mark, but with the Blair goal it takes you to 25 points the difference at the 29-minute mark after Blair kicked that goal. Goal kickers for Longford, Luke Murfitt-Cohen has 4. And then all single goal kickers from there, Jackson Blair, Jacob Wiggers, James Gillow, Michael Larby, Lachlan Dakin and Oliver Chugg. And for Rocherlea, 2 goals to Holton and then singles to Andrew Cox-Goodyear, Jordan Cousins, Caden Cox-Goodyear and Zane Brown. So three-quarter time, Rob Soward, a 25-point lead to the Country Tigers, Longford. And Rocherlea, like the boy with the barrow, got the job ahead of them.
Yeah, they have, but they've certainly got the players to do it. And we were talking off air, and we've been talking off air, Michael, about how they've got a core group of players, Rocherlea, that have played at a very high level at State League. And you remarked as well that there's some players there that could also play at State League level. So they certainly have the talent to do the job. The challenge will be being able to do that. But, you know, I'm really confident with people like Fontyn and Cousins in and around the middle. You know, the opportunities there. For Longford, what they've got to do is just capitalise on those forward entries. And that quarter, we saw them do that. You know, other parts of the game, their entries were poor, they were shallow, they just banged it in. That time they were more deliberate and certainly got reward for effort, particularly with that last goal from Jackson Blair. As you said, crafting something from nothing can be a real difference in a grand final.
Yeah, that's right. And quite rightly, there's the goal from Murfitt-Cohen. And he was pretty pumped after that. But it is three-quarter time in the Premier Division Men's Grand Final in the NTFA, the showpiece match for the season. And it is Longford by 25 points. The Country Tigers lead the City Tigers 10-7, 67 to 6-6-42. Back with the final quarter shortly. Welcome back to UTAS Stadium, the final quarter of the NTFA Premier Division Men's Grand Final. Longford take a 25-point lead in, but you would not want to write off Rocherlea. They've proven this afternoon that they can kick multiple goals and they can kick them quickly. They'll need to do that. Here we go, final quarter of the grand final. Under lights at UTAS Stadium, pictures from Duff TV. Larby, who's won just about every tap. Ponting takes it for Rocherlea. They'll want a couple of quick goals just to get back in touch. No one can take the mark. In goes Caden Cox-Goodyear. He's tackled, has it almost stripped off him, got rid of it. They're crashing in. Moore is back on the ground after cooling his jets after being reported. But the mark has been taken. No 50-metre penalty, and Stone has got it. No, that's okay. We're all nodding our heads saying no 50 there. Ponting demands the footy on the wing. Cuts back inboard to Cousins, who just keeps running. Caught on his right boot, but got it inside 50. They all back. No one can take it. That's a high tackle. No question about that on Hawkins. Gee, they'd love an early goal. If they can sink a couple through, it might just happen. Here we go. High kick. Cox-Goodyear. Use of the body with strength. Just got rid of Joel Lloyd. And he would love to snag this early goal. We've only just been going a minute, Rob.
Yeah, and I'm watching Denellen down in back play as well after that collision with Hawkins. He's sort of been manning him up for the latter part of that third quarter. That's a great mark by Cox-Goodyear.
Here's Cox-Goodyear from 20. Goal umpire doesn't move. First blood in the final quarter. Maybe the comeback is on from Rocherlea. Cox-Goodyear of the Andrew variety gets his second, and they creep back to 19 points. 10-7-67 to 7-6-48.
How nice to see a bloke kick old-fashioned, straight, punt, without going around the shoulder.
Should count for 12, Rick, I reckon, that one.
Yeah, great strength there from Andrew Cox-Goodyear, his second goal of this grand final. Down there at full forward, Holton down there as well. So, crucial ball up. Larby with the spring. Ball still in that centre circle, and it's not going anywhere. And we'll have another ball up.
They've sent Denellen to Cousins again, just to try and quell his influence.
It's going to be sore tonight, Denellen. And Bannister. I don't know how he got rid of it, but benefit of the doubt, and it's going to be a ball up.
It's another tactic they've gone to there. Dakota Bannister's a really smart footballer. He's not winning the tap, but he's sharking the tap off the ruckman.
Larby again. Such a good leap on him. And we're going to get another ball up. So it's soaked up about a minute so far. Almost 3 minutes played. Well and truly in this contest still, Rocherlea with the first goal through Andrew Cox-Goodyear this final term. Larby, sit down, coming forward, bit of friendly fire there. Casey Curtis copping one high from his teammate. Working really hard. It's going to come forward. Bannister and Larby chasing after it. Bannister, oh, he's in trouble here. And that's a pretty easy decision for the umpire. 3 versus 1. He wasn't going to get out of that.
I think we all gave that dropping the ball. Here's Davies. Davies kick, looking for Murphy Cohen. But, oh, that is courage. Courage by Luke Richards. And Murphy Cohen is being
it might be a 50
spoken to. So, oh, well, that's okay. I mean, you've got to come from over the top. He was just a fraction late. And it will be 50.
It did look simultaneous, but yeah.
There's been a few things that have had us rushing for the handbook today. Richards, all of a sudden he's okay. His foot skills are second to none. Bannister, the smother was by Larby, who's been outstanding in the ruck. Here's Hawkins, check side, good looking kick. It fades away to the right, back to an 18-point margin.
Well, they're doing all the attacking at the moment. Rocherlea have really come out, as you would expect, in this final quarter of the 2022 NTFA Grand Final. I hope you're enjoying the coverage with thanks to Duff TV. Out to that outer side of the ground. It's going to come forward through Rietsma, and it might be too wide. It is, and it's out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a Longford free kick. And Connor Alexander.
Been part of that tough defence, hasn't he?
Yep.
Back there.
Picks the ball up from the gutter. And is he going to go down the line? Goes very short and finds his teammate, and Liam Davies has been a very good contributor this afternoon. So just soaking it up a little bit. Good manning up here from Rocherlea. There is a free man here on the near side. It's Lloyd. He goes short. Oh, it's going to be cut off. Good punch. They got the numbers though. Handball from Gray to Murfitt, and they'll come out wide and they do it nicely. Jaden Harris with the mark. Harris goes inboard. It works effectively. The mark taken by Gray. He's going to go forward the centre and look for Larby, and why not? The big man couldn't quite hold on to it. Fontyn, Frankham, and they come away, the Tigers, through Rietsma.
Rietsma's kick looks for the skipper in Richards. He's got it half back. Just a pinpoint kick into the middle to Bannister. Bannister wants to get on with the job. They'd love another goal. The Bannister kick's got some penetration on it. Holton had to knock it away. Here they go. Quick little kick is okay. Well done by Etchells, who got it to Caden Cox-Goodyer. And on his left boot here, I think he's a left footer. And this will be important for them. Caden Cox-Goodyer. What can he do? The number 11. It's a good looking kick, but it's away to the left. That one needed to float through, but it's a 17-point margin with plenty of time to go.
I just want to highlight in that back play, that shot on goal started with Josh Ponting's contest against Larby.
Oh, kick. Well, it goes outside 50 in the end. No one could get a hand on it. And they've got numbers here in the centre. Kick forward by Headland. The race is on. They got numbers still here. Here's a chance for Jackson Blair. It's a good looking kick, but it's just over Murfitt Cohen and seen out there by Burling. And we'll get a boundary throwing. Gee, they transitioned that quickly.
They've looked dangerous all day, haven't they, Longford, on that transition play?
They have indeed. And boundary throwing now, just 20 metres around. The Longford Reserves players have gone down the other side of the ground for this last quarter, and why not? Boundary throw-in. No one can get clear possession, and we're going to get a ball up 20 metres, 25 metres out from the Longford goal, heading to the northern end in the last term. Larby might have almost been shepherded out there, and no, in fact it's going to go the other way.
Over the shoulder to Cousins.
So Jordan Cousins has been, as Michael Maney said, outstanding. Gets around Larby, and not one of his better kicks. Davies, great work off the ball. That was Ponting, but here's a chance. Frankham's kick is away to the right and through for a behind. Let off for Rocherlea. Margin and even 3 goals, 8 minutes travelled. Plenty of time.
Just got it off the side of the boot. Short kick is chopped off by Blair. Jackson Blair kicked that late goal, and that's something that when you look at the replay, Jackson, they won't make you real happy. It's not the best of left footers. Just hands it back to Rocherlea. So this is Anderson now, the long sleeves, gets close to the man on the mark and has to hoist it high. Wiggers flies. Oh, that's a huge fly from Jaden Harris. It might have landed on his noggin. Didn't hold it for all that long. The umpire thought, well, that impresses me. Here's Murfitt. A pretty good game from him down back. Kicks to a 2-on-1, but then finds the one in the middle, which is Dakin. Dakin thought about the little handball. There's the mark. Here's Dakin. Just a little short ball, and that finds Thorpe. Thorpe, the man floating past is Wiggers, who kicked the first goal of the game. This one's not going to quite get there, but the mark has been taken by Gillow, and he's on the right side, Rob Soward, for a left footer.
Yeah, absolutely. Great mark. So you want to salute here, and really, again, sort of almost against the run of the early part of this quarter play, where it's all Rocherlea. So crucial kick.
Well, a little bit of cramp for Gillow there. And will he run around and kick it across his right shoulder? Luke Richards says, how far can I get in? Murphy Cowan is trying to get there to shepherd off. Where's Gillow? There he is. Play on, says the umpire. Turns it around and hits the post.
Handy point, Michael Maney.
Yes, it is. 19 points the difference now with the Gillow point.
So Rocherlea got to get a move on. Kick out wide. It's a good one. And nice mark there taken by Stone. Play on. The old-fashioned torpedo punt didn't quite come off though. And it's marked by Kobe Moore. He in turn goes short and finds Davies. Davies on the left foot spots a teammate out wide. They'll come away with it, the Tigers inside 50. Kick is too wide, but it bounces back inside play. Murphy Cohen's there. Richards been very good all day, the skipper for Rocherlea. And we're going to get a boundary throw in. Here we can see the Longford reserves players. They've got their premiership medallions on there in a great mood. As I said, they've headed down the other side of the ground at three-quarter time to be down the northern end. The end that Longford are kicking to. They're singing down there. I hope they're not singing the club song too early. There's still a bit of time left. And that might be a touch ball. A really dangerous position here. Over the back, reaching. Mark not taken, and that has got to be holding the ball.
I was just thinking if they were singing the song, they're having 50 cents each way. I mean, we're from Tigerland. It'd have to be both, wouldn't it?
There they are. They're having a great evening.
If you're on the theme song at the end, you're going to be pretty happy with it.
Yep, and there's a kicking in danger decision. It's going to go Rocherlea's way, and here come the Seagulls, Michael Maney.
Yes.
About 150 of them.
They're coming in. Rick Fontyn, all those chips that haven't been eaten today. Here they go. Through Bailey Wells. And Kurt Burling. Slow build up here to Stone. Murphy called to go. That's a horrible kick. Headland had to get it elevated. He's been dealt with after he's kicked it, Headland. Stone is the man that is the transgressor. He quickly gets himself off the ground before the umpire has second thoughts. Headland there in the hands of the trainers, just composing himself. Gillow goes with a kick to the pocket. And it's been marked by Burling. So they just can't get it out of here. Ponting. Longford have built the wall. And Rocherlea with a bit of slow ball movement and kicking that's not pinpoint are in a bit of strife. Gray can't get there. Richards back. So they get the switch, and Provis is in position A.
Provis with about 5 metres on his opponent in Pearton. And they've got to make every post a winner here, and that one's going to trickle out of bounds railway wing. Well, half forward for Rocherlea, heading to the city end in the final quarter. So just over midway through this term, almost 14 minutes played. Longford leading the way by 19 points. Can they break this run of 33 years without a senior premiership flag? And Rocherlea, well, they came home hot a few weeks ago against Longford, who led by 7 goals at one stage. Larby does well, positioning his body there in front of Cox Goodger. And we'll get a ball up. Frankham has been terrific, the skipper for Longford this afternoon. Going to be a hard choice to pick BOG. And there's a whistle off the ball. There's been a few off the ball. Oh! And There's going to be a downfield free kick. Andrew Cox-Goodger can't quite believe it. I didn't see it, but we might see it on the replay here. Downfield.
Might have been a little bit of Liverpool kissing going on there, I think.
Bit hard to see with what might have transpired there to result in a 50 to Longford. But anyway, they won't care. They're going to get a handball out wide, and Franklin, well, he's got acres here from 50. He'll kick it to the teeth of goal. Off hands, over the back. Murphy Cohen, and that's just about it. Blows kisses to the crowd. That's 5. And it's going to make it very, very, very difficult for Rocherlea. They trail by 25 points. Rob Soward, 15 minutes played, final term.
Yeah, as you've called beautifully there, just a silly mistake. You know, like grand finals can come down to a game of inches. Rocherlea deep into attack, needed a goal. Silly free kick, 50. Murphy Cohen really, really clever and showing the crowd he's got a handful.
25 points the margin. There are the Seagulls, or are they Vultures, coming in to swoop on the corpse of the Rocherlea Tigers. Larby, I think that's probably the first one that he's missed. Here's Fontyn. Gee, they'll want to get a couple of quick ones here. Cousins from just on 50, loads up, a long kick and misses. That had to go through. 24 points the margin now. 16 minutes gone, final term in the NTFA Premier Division Men's Grand Final. Duff TV bringing it to you. Rick Fontyn, Michael Maney and Rob Soward.
Ball kicked out and off hands and out of bounds. So, goodness me, they are circling, aren't they, these Seagulls?
You wouldn't want to be walking around with a packet of chips in your hand, Rick, would you?
Well, you'd need to have a cap on too, perhaps.
Under the magnificent lights of UTAS Stadium. How good is it to have the NTFA Grand Final at the home of footy? Rushton. It's exactly what they need at the moment, Rocherlea. A rush, 24 points, 4 goals. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. They've got to get a goal in the next couple of minutes here for sure. Umpire Shepherd tosses it up. Larby uncontested. Shark there. Cousins kicks it inside 50. Longford will be happy for this to go out. Here's Holton, keeps it in. Eventually it does trickle over the boundary line. Getting a big pat on the back, Kobe Moore. Gee, they've stood up, Rob Soward, haven't they, this defence?
Yeah, real system-based defence, and, you know, that's really shown out so far today. They've worked really, really hard.
From the boundary throw-in, it's about 20 metres around from the Rocherlea goal. Kicked off the ground. There's a chance on the left. Etchell to the forward pocket, 2-on-1. 2 normally wins out. Longford happy to hold it up. Handball comes out, nicely done there by Alexander. Right near the boundary line and seen over by Pearton. And we'll get a throw in.
That's almost been the real difference, I think, guys, today. It's just been a real team-first approach from Longford, whereas Rocherlea probably have, you know, with no disrespect to either side, more stars. But the team-first, team approach has really worked so far.
From the boundary throw-in, Luttrell tried to get it to the boundary or close to it. Davies working really hard, and that ball's been taken to the line. The last man to hold on to it was Ritsima. Pensive down on the boundary as Big Larby sucks them in, taking a rest with Luttrell taking up the ruck duties. It's a very, very good procedure here from the goal boundary umpire. Good throw in, nice and deep. Luttrell down the back, Moore. Gray was there. Moore put his head in the hole. Now he's got to get rid of it, and the umpire's going to ping him. Just laid on the footy. And Bannister. Well, you want to get on with it, Dakota, because you haven't got much time. So he goes with a long bomb, hoping for a mark. Holton's at the back. Ball fisted away. That defence of Longford has been terrific. A little kick off the ground was pretty handy, and the boundary line will be the friend of Longford. And Bassett just wanted to give an ear massage to Curtis. Will be a boundary throw-in. Time ticking away if you're a Rocherlea fan. 75 plays 51. Up it goes. Quick kick out by Bannister. Davies poised. Nicely done. Gets it to Pearton. Pearton just... Oh, that's not the best of kicks. Cousins there. Richards. Now Cousins off a step. Good looking kick. This time it's away to the left. 23 points the margin. Cousins misses again. He missed at the 16-minute mark. Now he misses again at the 20-minute mark.
Time's against them, Michael, isn't it now? Time's against them and they need 4 goals.
Just the 2 goals scored in this final term. 1 apiece. Murphy with a wobbly old finger breaker. Here's Bannister. Got control of it, then lost control of it. Dakin. Richards with the tackle. Chug. Frankham with a little dinky kick off the ground. Plenty of pace shown by Lloyd. The number 11. Still going Lloyd. Put his head in the hole. Got banged up for it. Flicks out the back. Frankham. High ball. Stone sits under it. Wants to give it to a teammate. And he does. In Burling. Burling goes out wide. Cousins does a little U-turn. And, gee, Caden Cox-Goodyer with an illegal shepherd. And this man has taken a bit of punishment this afternoon in Dunellan. But you got to say, Rob, that he's kept going. Here's the shepherd. Yeah, just a bit of a gut punch.
Yeah, he's tough as old boots, Dunellan. You know, he's going to be a sore boy tomorrow.
Famous Longford name, Dunellan. Remember Mark Dunellan, was it?
Yes, it's his son.
Yeah. A high kick. Running under the footy was Brown, but the umpire said you were pushed under it. So Brown hasn't had much of a day. Well, his kick was looking for Holton, but Holton says, I wear number 1 and I play for Rocherlea. And you didn't kick it to me. Pearton out wide to Wiggers, who's been pretty good off half back. Wobbly old kick. Dakin, handball over the top. Frankham gets rid of a tackler. Curtis back into trouble, and the umpires picked a free kick. Goes against him, and now to Anderson. So Anderson into the centre. Stone had Fontyn with a handball. Decided to go the kick. Wasn't a bad option. Etchells has got it. Coming back on the mark is Murphy. So Etchells goes inside 50. Holton's been going against a couple of them for most of the afternoon. Here's Big Larbs. Can't quite pick it up, but goes in with a wonderful tackle. And that's terrific play. And Larby gives a little bit of lip service to Josh Fontyn and says, give that ball to me. And that's wonderful stuff by the big man. It's been manful in the ruck. Been very, very good. Penetration on the kick to the wing. Stone goes in. And that ball's probably not coming out. Gray. Headland. Flicks over the back. Chug. He's got to get his skates on here. Donaldson's got his measure here. Donaldson did nicely. Was patient. And then the kick finds Wells. But could be a little bit too late, Rob Soward. It looks like the Tigers in Longford have got their first victory in a grand final for 33 years. Absolutely. And just very, very quickly, I looked through the list of names. Gray, Murphy, Frankham, Dunellan, Moore, Davies, Alexander, Chug, Dakin, Blair have graced the club for the past 33 years without a flag. Amazing stuff. Murphy away. The kick high. Dakin. Nice control. Got it to Sitzma. Sitzma to the man who's kicked 5 goals. It might just get over the back for Murphy Cowan. He's always tricky in this situation. Can he get out of this? Got the handball. Curtis backed into trouble. Got tackled. Umpire says, give it to me. Some of those names, Michael, fathers of players playing today, or relatives. So real family environment as you'd expect at the Country Tigers. Steeped in history. Here's Larby. Takes it out of the ruck. Banged it on the boot and finds Dakin. Well, this will be the absolute icing on the cake for Lachlan Dakin. He's booted one. Here's Larby. Been unbelievable in the ruck all day, Larby. He's given him an armchair ride. They've had no one to compete with him. Here's Dakin to take it out to 29 points. And the Longford faithful rise and applause.
It's fantastic. Lyndon Dakin, who you might remember played with Sydney, is Lachlan's uncle. And Simon Dakin is his dad, also a long-time Longford player. So just fantastic. And had a couple of cousins that played in the earlier game, Michael.
Yep.
That are obviously sitting in the Longford crowd behind the goals.
Well, they've found their voice. Well, they haven't lacked it, to be honest. 12-9-81 to 7-10-52. Larby again knocks it down. I reckon he's up around 60 hit-outs today. Denellen, Cousins. Isn't that enough to help him, to be honest? Long kick inside 50. Rocherlea would like to snag another one. They'd like to finish the game off okay. Holton over the top. Handball. This might be a goal to Brown. He can't quite collect the footy, Brown. Couldn't keep his feet. And a behind. Just
a great example of the Longford pressure. You know, they've been at it all day. Rocherlea have had to work hard.
They have. As the lights have kicked in here at UTAS Stadium, Denellen, who looks like he's been shot at and hit, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He'll be sleeping in the fridge tonight, I reckon, to get ice those bruises.
Yeah. I tell you, he's not shirked one issue, that man. He might get it again here as they wind the clock down. Won't be a long quarter because we've only had 3 goals kicked. 2 to the Longford Tigers, 1 to Andrew Cox-Goodyer at the 1 minute mark of this term, which gave them some hope. But it's been all Longford. Up goes Thorpe. He will be crowned the Messiah, Bo Thorpe. And it might be a free kick for a front on from Caden Cox-Goodyer. You see the man with the ponytail there, just in shot, Davies. Been very, very good for them this afternoon. And he's got a bit of a hobble up. This is Jaden Harris. And the trainer wants to have a look at him just to see if he's okay, concussion-wise. I think there's an air of confidence on that bench down there, Rob.
Longford. A lot of handshakes. KB Moore's dad, I can see. Big hug there for the support crew.
This might go to the line. Curtis, who's heavily strapped on that left leg. There'd be a few that would have come in today that are less than 100% as the hugs, and I think they know that 33 years, the 33-year wait is over. Up they go. Denellen. Bannister, who's tried really hard for his side. Murphy missed it. Rushton went in. Caden Cox-Goodyer. Nice little bit of ducking and diving there by Gray. Wells can't keep it in. The inevitable.
You can see the massive Longford players moving around now to the race, the reserves players. But the other thing too, Michael, they've been very strong over the years in the under-18s. So a lot of those players, I'm sure, have worked their way through as well.
Here we go. Siren is imminent. Brown for Rocherlea. Hadn't got enough out of him today. It's a good kick into the middle. Bassett, short kick to Provis. Provis from right on the paint of 50. There's the siren. The premiership drought has been broken. The Longford Football Club win their first premiership in 33 years with a stunning victory at UTAS Stadium. They led the contest all day, They led by 5 points at quarter time, 9 at half time, 25 at three-quarter time, and they win this game by 28 points. Premiers in the NTFA Premier Division Grand Final Series is the Longford Football Club. Rob Soward, this is a special moment for the Country Tigers.
It is, and it'll be rocking in the old town tonight out of Longford, that's for sure. I mean, worthy winners. It was a terrific contest, and I guess for mine, Michael, every time Rocherlea put it to them, Longford had the answers. And probably what made it even more noteworthy is the fact that we talked all game about the dominance of their big man, about how good Larby was all game, but Rocherlea, through the class of players like Cousins and Fontyn, Bannister, just stayed in the game. They won those clearances, but that Longford defence, as we talked about, working as a unit, holding up, and then when the ball did go in forward, it sometimes a dirty ball, not always clean. You had Murphy Cohen, who just really stood up and ended up, I think, with 5. And then you had Lockie Dakin, who, you know, the icing on the cake, and that famous name too. You know, Lockie, I know, coming through the juniors, playing all his football there, resisted urges to go elsewhere. What a fitting end to the score for him.
What a grand final it was. A triumph for Bo Thorpe, assistants Mitch Stagg and Jason Curtis, as the players congratulate each other, and also Rocherlea getting in there with the handshaking. The goal kickers for the winners, Longford, Luke Murphy Cohen, 5. 2 to Lachlan Dakin, and singles to Oliver Chugg, Michael Larby, James Gillow, Jacob Wiggers and Jackson Blair. And for Rocherlea, 2 to Andrew Cox-Goodyer, 2 to Josh Holton, and then singles to Jordan Cousins, Caden Cox-Goodyer and Zane Brown. In the end, a stunning win to Longford, and they are premiers after 33 years, Rob Soward, and you wouldn't begrudge them that one bit. They've had to work hard for this. The monkey is off the back.
No, it certainly is. And one of the things too that, you know, when we say 33 years, it's a long time, but it's almost 2 generations of players going through clubs. And the viewers would be interested to know we had Neil Kearney, who obviously was back at Longford in the halcyon days with Fred Davies in the 50s, popped his head in, interested, a big fan. I'm looking around the boundary line, I'm seeing, you know, men in their 70s who played back in that golden era. And for a lot of these players, and I did go through a big long list of names, I may even have missed some, Michael, they had fathers or you know, uncles who played at Longford with no success. 6 lost grand finals, I think you highlighted. So what an amazing achievement for the club, but also for those families to share that success.
When a club in a small community like Longford win a premiership like this, the reserves won the flag as well. They will lift the roof off the place tonight. It'll be rocking in Longford, but what does it mean for a town like Longford to win a premiership? They haven't been able to do it for 33 years, and now they get their taste of glory. What does it mean?
Well, I hope it means further success. I mean, we've touched on before, I think they finished top of the ladder a couple of years ago, went out in straight sets. You know, they missed out last year. Bracknell were, you know, surprising winners who just steamrolled through the finals, and probably surprised a lot of people. Another country club. I'm looking down there now as the players are celebrating, as we're waiting for Rick to go through the presentations. Cameron Gard, former best and fairest winner, 200-odd game player, never played in a premiership.
Comments from Rob Soward, and we're just about to take you down to ground level to Rick Fontyn.
Presentations underway, and firstly, the grand finals play between 2 teams, but the umpires, very important part of the day as well, and we want to acknowledge them. So we'd ask Scott Hill to come forward onto the podium from Bogues to present our medals on behalf of our umpires. Okay, time now to announce a very important award, and that is the Clary Boone Medal. Clary-Boone medal is presented to the player judged to be best on ground, and that's going to be presented by Scott Hill from our major partner Bogues. And the winner of the Clary-Boone medal for 2022 is Michael Larby. So before we present the medallions, there's a great contest between two terrific teams that have shone throughout the year in Longford and Rocherlea. I'd like to invite Rocherlea coach Josh Fontyn, please, to come forward and say a few words.
Obviously, first off, I'd just like to congratulate Bowl and the Longford boys. I know how much hard work goes into winning a flag, boys, and congratulations to you boys. I'm sure you're going to enjoy your next 3 days. To my boys, obviously, we fell at the last hurdle, but that's football. We'll come back and we'll make a good account for ourselves next year, I'm sure, and hopefully this drives us to go one better next year.
Thanks, Josh. Well played to you and your team. Great grand final. All right. So we're now going to present our premiership medals and Bogues caps. So we'll get Scotty Hill from Bogues to come forward to present our medals and our caps as well. So for Longford, we'll start with number 1, Josh Gray. Number 3, Jaden Harris. He's had a pretty good day. Number 5, Dylan Headland. Number 7, Jake Murfitt. Number 8, Casey Curtis. He not only brought up his half century today, but kicked 5 goals on the day. Number 9, Luke Murfitt Cohen. Number 11, Joel Lloyd. Number 13, Jackson Blair. Next up, number 14, Jack Denellen. Number 15, Kobe Moore. Number 16 next, Samuel Luttrell. Number 17, Liam Davies. Number 19, Jacob Wiggers. Number 21, Connor Petton. Number 25, Connor Alexander. Next up, number 29, James Gillow. Number 31, Hamish Sitzma. Number 34, Michael Larby. Number 36, Lachlan Dakin. Number 39, Oliver Chugg. Couple more to go. Next up, the captain of the Longford Football Club, Josh Frankham. And finally, the coach, the Premiership team, number 24, Bo Thorpe. Bo, we might get you to say a few words.
Firstly, to echo Josh, you guys have battled really hard over the final series. We've got a lot of respect for your footy club. Obviously, we'll just wait for the crowd there. You guys have battled really, really well throughout the final series. Obviously a few injuries and stuff, but it shows the character of your club. Like you said in the paper, a lot of you boys are from that side of the river and you play some really good footy and you've gone to school together and stuck together. Stick at it and I'm sure success is not far away. To our boys, we've been around the mark for a few years now and it's about time we capitalise. A fantastic achievement, done everything I've asked and I'm sure there'll be a few drinks tonight in Longford. To our supporters, our sponsors, we couldn't do it without you. It's a fantastic achievement for the club, but it's also... Boys, you reckon we could wait? Just wait till we finish. It wouldn't be possible without you, so thank you. And just to the coaching staff, Staggy, Jace, Southie, etc. Couldn't do it without you guys. Special thanks to the footy department for backing me in to get the job done. And last but not least, thanks to my beautiful wife for backing me to do it. Wouldn't be able to do it without you.
Thanks very much, Bo. All right, just a couple of things left to do. And I'm going to invite Scott Rigby, the president of the NTFA. Archie Blair, if you can make your way up to the podium to accept the Premiership flag. Well done, Arch. And finally, please welcome a club legend from Longford, Philip Williams, to the podium. And I'll invite the captain of the Longford Football Club, Josh Frankham, to come forward. '22 premiers of the NTFA, Longford.
There it is. The ecstasy of winning a grand final. The reserves won the grand final.
Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's Rick just for the sign-off.
NTFA, tremendous crowd here for the grand final at UTAS Stadium today. Stay safe, drive safe, and thanks for coming out and supporting local football in 2022.
A job well done in the commentary box and on ground, Rick Fontyn. Outstanding today. Just going quickly back through the results today. In the under-18, South Launceston 9-7-61 beat Bridgenorth 5-7-37. In the women's grand final, it was Launceston 4-5-29. Old Launcestonians 3-2-20. In the reserves, Longford 9-11-65 by 40 points over South Launceston 3-7-25. There are all the supporters that have made as much noise as you can possibly make for supporters. They have been terrific today, Rob Soward, and what a wonderful thing for Longford to finally take home the flag back out to their ranch out there.
Absolutely, and as Rick noted a couple of times during the day, Michael, how fantastic is it to see the NTFA Grand Finals here at the University of Tasmania Stadium, one of the best stadiums in the country, which is terrific. But from a Longford viewpoint, again, you know, we've talked about the point, but none of the players that played in this premiership side today, Michael, were alive. None of the players that won this grand final today were alive the last time Longford saluted. So it's going to be a really, really special time, not just for those players, but for their families. And, you know, I just think that's absolutely terrific and so special for towns too, a country town as well, like Longford, that's a proud sporting town. Take nothing away from Rocherlea, I'll just quickly mention them. They've been terrific all season. They've got some really, really good young players. They've certainly got some fantastic, highly skilled players, and we've talked about them. So they certainly shouldn't be ashamed of what they dished up today. A lot of physical pressure, some really, really critical play from some of their good players. And again, you know, plenty to look forward to next season for them. So a grand final for the ages, but Longford's day, and the hoodoo was broken.
It most definitely was. The hoodoo is dead and buried, so they can get rid of that one. And a wonderful victory there is Luke Murford-Cowan. Just some little replays of the last. Okay, that's all we have from UTAS Stadium this afternoon. The Tigers of the Longford variety were victorious in the grand final, 12-9-81 to Rocherlea 7-11-53, a 28-point victory to the Longford Tigers. Thanks very much to Martin and Jack Duffy, to Jerry, to Rick Fontyn, Rob Soward, Matt Chatwin and Aaron Roberts for their assistance in commentary throughout the course of the last couple of weeks of finals. That is it for season 2022. Longford, after 33 years, finally get the premiership they have dreamed of for so long. That's it from UTAS Stadium. Michael Maney signing off from the best ground in Tasmania. Thought about setting it up for here, but he's handballed away. Long kick. That is a great kick. That is a goal from Jacob Wiggers. And Wiggers gets the first of the afternoon. The boy from Ulverston on the northwest coast. His dad was a great player for the Turners Beach Footy Club. And Jacob Wiggers gets the first goal for the Longford Tigers. And they lead 1-1-7. Rocherlea yet to score. Rob Soward.
Fantastic.
Rocherlea coach with a lovely set over the top. Almost the mark taken by Bannister. He comes away with it though. Has one bounce. Will he have a second? He will, but it doesn't bounce favourably for him. He's tackled. Got his boot to ball. Follows up again. Tackled. Outstanding tackle, and that's what you want to see rewarded, Rob Soward. Great work there from Jaden Harris, and
on the lead, so the kick's got to be right out in front of him. Larby, another tap out. Gee, he's having a dominant first quarter. Here's Dinellon, handball over the top. Davies with a real good kick. That is a ripper, and the mark has been taken by number 39, Oliver Chugg. Chuggs, wow, what a name in football. Chugg, from all around the northern part and throughout the whole state, really. Davies, that kick's just important.
He got the tap, but they're going to come again. They're doing well in the centre. Longford kick to half forward, sitting under it and doing very well. Nice mark taken by Taylor Stone. Oh, he's going to go across. Geez, that's dangerous. Yeah, it wasn't very smart. Poor kick. His teammate tells him about it. And, well, Murphy Cohen, I think he's given him a little bit of lip as well. Might have said thanks for the pass. Not sure what he was thinking here, Rob. He must shorten. I can only think that he didn't spot Murphy Cohen, but he was pretty close and could be costly. But it's important for Longford that Murphy Cohen finishes it off. It's a lovely afternoon for football. Little wind. Here's Bannister again. Handball out. Finds Fontyn. Goes short, and that's better. And really the first time we've seen uncontested. Here's Cousins. He'll nearly kick this. He can kick a long ball. Jordan Cousins to full forward. Mark taken. That's strong hands there. So chance now for the Tigers. Josh Holton, leading goal kicker for the season with 65 goals. And I dare say this is probably his first possession. Rob hasn't been up there much.
No, and he's critical to their setup.
He
Absolutely.
is. So Josh Holton, as I said, the leading goal kicker by a fair bit from Luke Murphy-Cohen. I think 65 goals for the season. He'd dearly love to make it 66 right here. 45-degree angle, only 15 out. Kicks the first goal for Rocherlea. They're on the board. Courtesy of Josh Holton. And after all the work and the dominance of possession that Longford have had, Rob Soward, they only lead by 3 points.
The Rocherlea coaching panel would be absolutely...
It's a strong mark there taken by Gillow. He's had a good opening quarter. He's got good hands, this man, for a small forward. He's started very well. He fancies his chances here.
They really need to kick this, Rob, don't they? Because they've had no reward for multiple inside 50s, and Rocherlea take it are going wide. He's just tailoring his leads wide. He runs around, gets a nice bit of bend on that. It's a good kick. He knew exactly what his capabilities were, Murphy Cohen, and he gets his first goal of the afternoon.
2-on-1 favouring Longford, but it's going to spill free. Chance now for Anderson. Here's Cousins. Penetrating kick to about 35 out. That's a good strong mark from Andrew Cox-Goodger. Directly in front. He'll kick from about 30-35 metres out. And Rob, you touched on a little earlier about the big leaders. They've got guys that can step up, and this is one guy that can hurt you in a very short space of time. Yeah,
he's a really smart footballer. Again, state league experience, and you know, even as you get a little bit older, you just get smarter, and that's just a really strong mark by Cox-Goodger.
Andrew Cox-Goodger directly in front. Kicks it over the goal umpire's head. Second goal to Rocherlea. And the margin back to 5 points. They're 2 straight 12. Longford 2 goals 5-17. Andrew Cox-Goodger with his first of the afternoon.
You called, and it's been very obvious, the dominance of Longford in the ruck, but they're certainly not capitalising on that when the ball hits the ground.
It is. You'd expect nothing less than a grand final, and the lights just starting to take effect, getting a little bit darker here in Launceston. Both Thorpe starting to get a bit busy as well, and that's good hands in front. And these two were just going at it a moment ago. Gillow and Richards. And tell you what, Gillow, he turned around pretty quickly when he took the mark. Said, that's what you get when you play in front. And confident young man. He needs to finish it off. Number 29, James Gillow, he's had a good season. He's kicked 24 for the season. 45-degree angle. The left footer kicks straight. So they answer the challenge from Rocherlea. Longford move on to 3-5-23 and out to a 10-point lead over Rocherlea. 2-1-13, first goal of the afternoon to James Gillow.
Yeah, look, really smart mark there by Gillow too. It almost looked like he was out of the play, as you called, Rick, but just turned around in time. Really smart young player. 20-odd goals, as you've said, during the season. But as we tick over
the... Here's Cousins. Bannister. Can't find a lot of space. Nice handball out. Here's Cousins. He's class. He's all class. Beautiful finish from Jordan Cousins. and you can't afford to give him too much space, Rob Soward, because he will make you pay, which he did then.
Yeah, he will. And, you know, if the siren had sounded before Cousins got that ball and you'd gone in and Longford had that, 15-point lead, you would have said, yep, fair enough. But all of a sudden it's back to 9 points and Cousins is just absolute class. Notice that broke the tackle, got the ball back from the second possession off the stoppage, and just all class there on the beautiful left foot he's got.
Good vision from Pearton too to actually get it to him. Cousins had a little quiet patch where Fontyn had sort of kept up the pace, but Cousins had just dropped off a little. But I guess we've got high expectations of him, but they can't do anything productive with it. Now that's a spear and finds a teammate in the middle of the ground. Now it's picked up and chipped in by Pearton, and the mark has been taken by the big full forward in Murphy Cohen.
He's got to go back and kick this. With this stage of the game, with the time where it's at, he's really got to go back and seize the day.
Jaden Harris, the number 3 for Longford, involved in that exchange. And it's a nice sliding mark from Murphy Cohen. But as you say, Rob, correctly, this just has to go through if you're a Longford fan. Hasn't had his kicking boots on totally. From the angle, he's been pretty good. But here he goes, up and under. Goal umpire salutes and says, Luke, you've got your second. 2 1/4 to Murphy Cohen. And a little steadier for Longford, Rob.
Yeah, it is a little steadier, Michael. And, you know, we're almost in the shadows of half-time. And for Longford to go in just with it.
Murphy Cohen, there's that big, dominant ruckman back to Davies. So Larby doing it nicely in the centre. Quick little handball out, squirts beautifully. Now it's back to with this man in Gillow. Now Gillow goes to half forward. Good kick, good mark. They're having a purple patch here, Longford. And it will be number 39, Oliver Chugg, to take a shot from goal. That's quick hands. That's beautifully done by Jackson Blair. And then Gillow with a nice turn of pace, and the execution kick was wonderful. Donaldson on the mark. Chugg kicked just one behind so far in the first turn. A little wind up, left footer. Is it going to come around? It's got the journey. He's happy. And all of a sudden, it's out to a game-high 19-point margin to Longford. Chugg gets his first. And Longford have started the second term after the first minute or two, Rob.
Very damaging player, and if he can get into this game, well, they're right in it still. He must kick this. Zane Brown will kick from about 30. He's normally a good kick, and that one's no exception. The goal umpire doesn't move, and Rocherlea responds straight away and reduced them. And the mark is taken by Alexander.
Off to Wiggers. Wiggers out in front of Murphy. Murphy gets a kind bounce. He's about to get mowed down. Got a real chaos ball inside 50. Might just work okay for Dakin. Dakin from 30 metres. Straightens up. Kicks the goal. That ball went from one end to the other very quickly. Set up by Wiggers at half-back. Murphy ran onto it. And it's back out to a 19-point margin. And Dakin gets his first.
And it's on here on the centre wing.
Yeah, Rushton.
Bo Thorpe didn't like it. Umpire Shepherd's there too, and he's paid. 25 out. Larby gets it down. And they've held up really well. It's one of those up and under kicks that may not work out. It doesn't. And we're going to get a shot on goal here. And it's that man you don't want it to be with if you're a Longford supporter, and that's Jordan Cousins. So played in the third quarter, and it's Longford looking for their first senior premiership since 1989 up against Rocherlea, who last tasted premiership success in 2016. Going to throw in the shallow one. Touched, play on. Here's a chance now, and a goal, and it's kicked by Cox-Goodger. That's Caden. And they're right back in this contest. Rocherlea, the margin down to 11. 8-5 plays 6-6.
Yeah, look, and Rick and you and Michael called it a moment ago. That was almost a replay of the last time the ball was at this part of the ground. The Longford defender, just a quick kick on the quick
Back on, goes for the big fella in Cowan. Murphy Cowan couldn't take the mark. Well, no free kick. He did drop it like a hot scone, Darren Lowe. I think he did.
And it finds Wiggers, being good for them. He'll kick it deep inside 50. Murphy Cohen, a little bit of a push. Bounces over the top. He might kick another one here. He's done it from here before, and he's done it again. 4 goals to Luke Murphy Cohen, and stretches the lead out to 18 points again. 9-6, plays 6 goals, 6, Rob Soward.
He looks like he's gas Murphy Cohen there. He's certainly just a really terrific contest, but I must admit, when I saw the ball coming in, I thought they'd made a mistake with how they just banged it in there, and it certainly looked a bit hands on the numbers from Murphy Cohen, but he got away with that, and a terrific finish, and you can see the celebration. He knows how important that goal was.
Running on fumes, that man at the moment. And it's about to Pearton. Handball's loose. Bannister. Oh, caught with a footy. And the umpire said, you dropped it, Dakota.
Great tackle.
And Thorpe, who's really...
Crosses 50, swings around, kicks it deep. It's not going to have the legs. It's off target. Can it be marked? Oh, chance, goal! Off hands. The Longford reserve players are celebrating a premiership and celebrating that goal as well. And it's been kicked there by Jackson Blair. Brilliant roving. And in the context of the game, Rob Soward, that is a massive goal.
Yeah, I don't usually sell the farm this early, but you just get the feeling in the premiership quarter, Longford have come out after Rocherlea dominated the first 5 minutes. Longford have come out and kicked 5 goals. Rocherlea have kicked 2. It's all uphill for Rocherlea from here, but they've got the cattle to do it. You know, I'm certainly not handing the cup out just yet, but great reward for the Longford dominance there to Jackson Blair.
Something out of nothing. That's a high tackle. No question about that on Hawkins. Gee, they'd love an early goal. If they can sink a couple through, it might just happen. Here we go. High kick. Cox Goodyear. Use of the body with strength. Just got rid of Joel Lloyd. And he would just a pinpoint kick into the middle to Bannister. Bannister wants to get on with the job. They'd love another goal. The Bannister kick's got some penetration on it. Holton had to knock it away. Here they go. Quick little kick is okay. Well done by Etchells, who got it to Caden Cox Goodyear. And on his left boot sleeves, gets close to the man on the mark and has to hoist it high. Wiggers flies. Oh, that's a huge fly from Jaden Harris. He might have landed on his noggin. Here's Dakin. Just a little short ball, and that finds Thorpe. Thorpe, the man floating past is Wiggers, who kicked the first goal of the game. This one's not going to quite get there, but the mark has been taken by Gillow. And he's on the right side, Rob.
Anyway, they won't care. They're going to get a handball out wide in Franklin. Well, he's got Akers here from 50. He'll kick it to the teeth of goal. Off hands, over the back. Murphy Cohen, and that's just about it. Blows kisses to the crowd. That's 5. And it's going to make it very, very, very difficult for Rocherlea. They trail by 25 points. Rob Soward, 15 minutes played, final term.
Yeah, as you've called beautifully there, just a silly mistake. You know, like grand finals can come down to a game of inches. Rocherlea deep into attack, needed a goal. Silly free kick, 50. Murphy Cohen really, really clever and showing the crowd he's got a handful.
25 points the margin. There are the Seagulls, or are they Vultures coming in to swoop on the corpse of the Rocherlea Tigers.
Some of those names, Michael, fathers of players playing today, or relatives. So real family environment as you'd expect at the Country Tigers.
Steeped in history. Here's Larby, takes it out of the ruck, banged it on the boot and finds Dakin. Well, this will be the absolute icing on the cake for Lachlan Dakin. He's booted 1. Here's Larby. Been unbelievable in the ruck all day, Larby. He's given him an armchair ride. They've had no one to compete with him. Here's Dakin to take it out to 29 points. And the Longford faithful, Bassett, short kick to Provis. Provis from right on the paint of 50. There's the siren. The premiership drought has been broken. The Longford Football Club win their first premiership in 33 years with a stunning victory at UTAS Stadium. They led the contest all day. They led by 5 points at quarter time, 9 at half time, 25 at three-quarter time. And they win this game by 28 points. Premiers in the NTFA Premier Division Grand Final Series is the Longford Football Club. Rob Soward, this is a special moment for the Country Tigers.
It is, and it'll be rocking in the old town tonight out of Longford, that's for sure. I mean, worthy winners. It was a terrific contest, and I guess for mine, Michael, every time Rocherlea